But Vengers! Fart Semble! Hey! What's up, everybody? How's it going? Samuel Kim Music on YouTube. Samuel Kim Music did that MCU Avengers Epic Orchestra Medley 4 years ago. It was posted. Very, very good. Frickin' what a tune. Yeah, say what you will about the MCU. Alan Silvestri. Alan Silvestri knocked it out of the park with that theme. I agree. The Avengers theme song is pretty solid. It's pretty rockin'. It's a pretty good time. Why is chat so tiny down there? How are you doing? Can you come back up here, please? Can you get a little bit bigger?
Let me show you
how it's... Oh my god. Stove!
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
Yeah! Woo!
Rain ho tu nom, rain ho tu nom, rain ho tu nom.
I agree, Brian. Thank you very much. Oh, Stoof. Oh my goodness, 13 months.
Legend has just subscribed.
I agree. I think Stoof is an actual legend. A living legend among us. Among us? Oh, sus. Bit sus, actually, Stoof, now that I think about it. Uh-oh. Thanks so much for the sub. That's huge. That's huge. I hope you're doing well. I hope your Christmas was good. Goodbye, chat. Now come back up here. Bigger? Are you usually bigger? Oh my goodness. This is the thing, right? I change all my settings for Halloween, and then I change them all back, kind of, for November, and then I change them all again for Christmas, and then by the time Christmas is over, everything that I had set up is broken. That's why I do a reset at the end of every year, everybody, because all of my settings get broken anyway. So you might as well wipe it all and start again. Which is, I can't wait. We got 3 streams left, and then I'm wiping it again. This computer needs a wipe. And with the wipe comes an OBS wipe, and with the OBS wipe comes a new graphics haul. I don't think we're going to have to change too much this year. I'm pretty happy with how things are looking right now. Maybe tweak a few things, but I don't know. We'll see. Christmas is going well, thanks. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. I hope the jolly red giant gave you lots of peas for Christmas. That's what happens, right? Where on the earth are you right now? Not to dox you or anything. Give me an exact location, right down to the latitude and longitude. Words that are in my brain for some reason. I know the words, and I know they have something to do with the lines on a globe, but that's about it. I know enough. You're in your home. Oh, excellent. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were still out and about or not. Longitude. Yes, exactly. Definitely a word, yeah. Well, hey, give it a try on Scrabble next time. You'll be alright. Good old St. John's. Okay, cool. You're home. That's good. Yes, I know it's longitude. Yep, longitude. It's better. It's more fun to say it that way when you throw on a little bit of an accent and add a few in more letters, you know? Just having a jolly good time. Longitude. Christmas. How was everybody's Christmas? We doing good? Did all the animals get Christmas gifts this year? What did all the pets get? Guybrush got a few new toys. He's got a catnip new toy that he hasn't tried yet, which I'm very excited about. I'm sure he'll enjoy that. Gave Henry the gift of life. Well, that's good. that's very good. That's a good Christmas gift, I would say. Pretty chill, which is how I like them. Little Maple got lots of treats. Oh, good. Okay, I'm glad all the pets got a little something for Christmas. That's good. Prednisolone. Prednisolone. Same thing, really. Yeah, fair enough. We gave our cats some churro treats, which they had not yet tried, and they went bonkers. Oh my goodness. Let's get bonkers. Totally nuts. That's amazing. Churro is like crack. Oh. Well then, I might have to look into this. Hey Guybrush, do you want some crack? Hey Guybrush, you want some crack? How loud can you shout that without getting... So happy for the little cat Go-Gurts. Oh, is that... Oh, are those the yogurt... See, I'm going to do it again, Tomcat. I'm going to do it again, all right? Well, kinda. Are those the little yogurt tubes? Tubes. With the cat food in them. Is that what they are? Because I've seen those before. Towers are great, too. I find towers are really cool for animals. Guybrush has one. He doesn't really use it, but he likes that it's around. Oh, you use it at work, and it's called Creamy, and I hate it. Oh my god, can you get me a jug of that Creamy? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, they could have called it something else. They get regular wet food, so I didn't expect them to go so nuts about it. That's fair, yeah. Yeah, I guess there's just something about it that's a little bit more than the wet food. I cannot stand how wet cat food smells. It's rancid. I can't stand it. I feed it to my cat frequently enough, but I just hate having to smell it at all. It's the worst. I don't know what it is. Can't stand it. Creamy. They need to get me to do an ad. Creamy. I got my cats nothing for Christmas. Mom sent them lamb chops. catnip toys. So I got the song that never ends stuck in my head for like 48 hours. Amazing. Kitty lamb chops. Oh my goodness. I feel like I was surprised to find out that lamb chops was still like a thing for animals, but that's like a thing at all. But it's like a thing for animals now, like animal chew toys, which is cool. It's nice to see that it's like it just hasn't died and gone away. Lamb chops prevails. Lamb chops is a character. Oh well, yeah. Not like the show, not the other characters, but the character itself. Bow, bow, bow. Oh no. I know the character Lamb Chops. I used to watch the show all the time. I used to sing the song that never ends all the time. I was that like annoying kid that would do that. Yeah, I used to watch Mr. Dress Up and Lamb Chops, and those were like a few of the shows that I used to watch when I was a kid. Schizo, what's up? What's up, my dude? How's it hanging? Getting hungry, Stoof. All right, time to dig in. Get yourself something to eat. We're gonna get stuck into this now in a minute. We gotta get the nice friendly conversation out of the way before we get into the shouting, yelling, pissing, and screaming and crying. So chilling. That's good to hear. I'm glad. Schizo's gonna be streaming later tonight, so we're gonna raid Schizo later. It's gonna be great. Wait for some family to get here. We're ordering, taking suggestions. I mean, my go-to is always McDonald's, so my suggestion is not really that useful unless. And yeah, go drop Schizo a follow if you haven't already. I think Schizo and a few of the other Pasta Party people are going to be jumping into some Lethal Company later this evening, if I'm not mistaken. Modded Lethal Company, or are you going regular this time? Oh, good call, B. Tacos, always tacos. But see, that's the thing. We don't have a Taco Bell. We still don't have a Taco Bell. Why? My New Year's resolution is for Newfoundland to get a Taco Bell. There. I've solved it for everyone. Now it has to come true, right? Now it has to. Please. Going vanilla today. Okay, gotta try to get some of the bigger moons and stuff. Oh, very nice. Okay. Very, very cool. Well, I'll be tuning in after the stream. I'm looking forward to it. I can't dig it. I'm afraid that if I play like 1 or 2 rounds, I'm gonna want to just play nothing more than Lethal Company, and I can't afford to get addicted to a game just yet. I've been holding out because Rogue has asked me to play it a few times as well, and I gotta hold out just a little bit longer. Once we get to January, then I can fuck off and play some games. But I gotta focus and try to get this end of the year stuff done first. Soon, we're almost there. Big plans for January too, so I'm. Oh, sorry guys, hold on. Sorry everyone, I can't hear you. You're breaking up. What's going on? Sorry, I can't hear you. What? Wow, it just got. Sorry, what are you saying? I'm going through a tunnel right now. Hold on. Sorry everyone, I'm going through. I can't hear you. It's there's a storm. There's a storm. I don't know what's happening. Okay, here we go. Here it comes. Listen, I can't help it that I can't help it that it's a good song, all right? I can't help it. I blame Dazzled and Game Chops for making a solid remix of it as well. So it's everyone's fault but mine, okay? That's the reality that I'm living in. We're in a storm zone. Yes. Today we're going to be ranking the entirety of the MCU. We're going to be hanging out over here on our tier list page. Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice? We're going to have some jolly video game tunes in the background. Make sure to check out the artists as they scroll near my brain. Let me just make sure that that's in the proper place, though. Vanishing a bit too early there. It's supposed to go behind my head and vanish like that. That's the idea, anyway. Where's it going to come from now? Off screen? Oh, nope. God damn. I don't really want to fiddle with this right now. I was fiddling with this for hours earlier. I'm gonna give it one try. I'm one guess at a number, and if it's not the right number, I quit. Okay. So it's gonna go behind my head. Is it gonna go past my head, or is it gonna disappear behind my head? Because that's what I want it to do. Dang it! Okay, but that's good. Okay, it disappears right there. Okay, so we can move it. We can move it this far. Yeah, there's the exit point. Okay, so if we move it this far, see, this is. I get lost in this stuff. I get lost in placing of text. There we go. Look, now it comes in off screen and it disappears behind my head. Isn't that neat? Great, cool. Worth everybody's time there. So yeah, we're gonna be ranking the entire MCU. There is one thing on this list that I have not seen. So we're gonna take a guess. We're gonna take a guess because I've heard things. I've heard things from very reliable sources, and I think I know exactly where it should go. But we'll talk about it when we get there. We'll probably start with it, honestly, just to get it out of the way. If you look in your channel points, if you check on your Pop-Tarts, you'll notice that there's a thing that you can buy called a veto. You only get one of these, so don't buy it just yet. Hold on to that, baby. It costs 500 channel points just to stop people from coming in and spamming vetoes with new accounts and stuff like that. You got to be here for at least a little bit to have enough points to use a veto. You get one. Once you buy it, it's gone. I don't make the rules. I literally just made this rule. You get one. And you can state your case and try to convince me to change my opinion on something, the placement of something, anything. You can use the veto on anything. But, and I want to say this before we get into this, I want to keep this a positive atmosphere, okay? Let's do our best to try to focus on what we like about these things, not what we don't like about them, unless what we don't like about them directly contradicts what someone else does like. You know what I mean? We want to have discussions, but we don't want to yell and shout and blame. I'm not here to place blame on directors or actors or writers or anything like that. We're just going to chill. We're just going to vibe. They're just silly, goofy movies about a bunch of magical people in a fantasy universe. So let's keep it chill and groovy. GameNut2 and GameNut_3 have strong opinions. Yes, I'm expecting to hear from Jolt3 as well, our VIP Jolt3. But who knows? We'll see. So yeah, let's get stuck into this, shall we? Oh, sorry, our tier list. We've got Super Cool and Groovy, which is going to feature things that are, just incredible directing, incredible camera work, incredible acting, incredible score, incredible moments. All those things, if there are a number of those in a movie, then yeah, it's probably going to get top tier, right? It's the top tier. It has the best of the best. There could be things up there that have, really, really good moments, but are, not the greatest movies or whatever. They could still be up there because they had such good moments, stuff like that. Then we got a very good and fun time, which is exactly what it says. Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't incredible. Didn't wash over me with joy or anything like that. It wasn't mind-breakingly good, but no, it was really good. We had a good time. I'm glad it exists. That sort of thing. Then right in the middle, we've got it was fine. It exists. I enjoyed watching it. It was fine. Probably won't watch it again. That's kind of where we are, you know? Like, I was happy with the one-time watch. Maybe I'll rewatch it a second time doing a marathon or something like that, but I'm not going to sit down and watch it on its own. Then we got Could Have Done More, which is exactly what it says. Like, it, you know, good that it exists. It serves its purpose, but it could have done more. It could have done more. Like, it probably did something, but it probably could have achieved more in a different way with, you know, a few tweaks and changes here and there, you know? And then we've got the final tier, which is Drop the Ball, which is they had something, they had a good idea, they had a good premise, they had a good structure, and then something just flipped and it flopped and it didn't work. Are we including the Netflix Hulu shows in this? No, we're not. We are not. We are going off of the Disney Plus timeline, excluding the one-shots, because I haven't seen all the one-shots. But everything that's on the Disney Plus timeline right now, including the Marvels, I believe, because I don't think the Marvels is out yet, but I do have the Marvels on here. So spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the Marvels yet, we're probably going to talk about that one. Spoiler alert, just in general, we're going to be talking about the entire MCU, so there are probably going to be some spoilers if you're trying to avoid some stuff. But we'll see. They were in there, but got removed because of royalties and etc. Oh, I see. Okay, I've frequently heard too that a lot of people don't consider them canon anymore, but because the MCU hasn't specifically said they're not, people are still holding on to the fact that they are. But I don't know. So I haven't seen them all either. I've seen Daredevil and I saw season 1 of Jessica Jones. I think I saw the first half of the first season of Punisher. I think. I haven't seen Captain Marvel. I haven't seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't seen a lot of the spin-off shows. I've seen a lot of the MCU current canon shows that are on here. But anyway, let's jump in. Let's get started. The first one we've got here is the one I haven't seen, but the one that I'm going to predict its positioning for. I'm going to take... Oh, where'd it go? I'm going to take it. I'm going to put it here. I've heard, and this includes I Am Groot and I Am Groot Season 2. I've heard, yeah, they were short, they were cute, they did what they had to, fun, cute little cartoon, doesn't really impact the universe very much, just a fun little romp with Groot. I've heard this is a very good baseline, because, you know, it set out exactly what it was supposed to do. So if there's something that's better than this, yeah, that makes sense. If there's something that's worse than this, yeah, then that makes sense. So we're gonna keep that as a baseline, and we'll just keep that in mind. That I Am Groot did exactly what it was supposed to do. It was fine. A one-time watch. It was cute. Let's move on. Let's scoot on out of here. I should also mention that What If Season 2, of course, is currently ongoing as we're doing this stream, but it's not finished, so it's not on the list. I also haven't seen any of the episodes yet, so isn't that fun? I don't know if they've been good or not. But let's get another easy one out of the way, shall we? Something I think is easy. You might disagree, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take old man and slap him up there. I think Iron Man is super cool and groovy. It's the one that kicked everything off. I've saw it recently and it still holds up. It's badass. It's cool. It's great. It's fun. It's got, you know, everything you want from an MCU movie, really. And it was the kind of the first one to do it, and it's just great. What more is there to say? Great acting. Stephen Robert Downey Jr. back in a role again, of course, was cool for the time. I didn't really understand it when it first came out because I didn't really know anything about it. But yeah, it's great. It's great. I don't think there's anything else to say about it. It's where else do you put it? You could argue maybe that it goes in a very good and fun time, but I don't know. I think it's super cool and groovy. I think we're gonna leave it there. Oh God, what order should we do these in? What should we do next? When you're talking about Iron Man, what else could you talk about? What heavily relates to Iron Man? Oh God, I mean, so many things. That's the problem. Guybrush. I mean, since we were talking about it just now, let's talk about What If. The first season of What If. I don't know where to put this. I don't like that What If is technically canon, if I'm honest with you. I thought What If was probably fine. I think if anything it could have done some more. I thought the episodes were kind of like they had some really interesting ideas, like ideas that I wanted to see in more of just a 20-minute show. And I could be alone in this, but I don't like the animation style. I'm not a fan. I don't know what it is about it. I'm just not a big fan. I think some characters it really, really works, but some characters it doesn't work. I don't like it. And I think that's just a me thing. So I think we'll leave that one right where it is. I think What If probably could have done more. And I'm interested to see what If season 2 is doing. So could be wrong. The whole them meeting up at the end, and then I mean they made Ultron literally unbeatable. I can't fathom how he fell for their trick at the end. I can't really remember it, if I'm honest with you. I just remember thinking like, okay, this super powerful, unstoppable Ultron who has destroyed reality, literal reality probably. And I don't know. I think they built him up too much, and then I just didn't believe that they were able to take him out. It was weird. I don't know. It was strange. I liked seeing Ultron though. That was fun. I liked Ultron. Glad to see him back. And well, you know what? Since we're talking about him, Age of Ultron. This one, people are divisive on this one, aren't they? I think Age of Ultron is. I think it's a very good and fun time. I think a lot of people would probably argue that it's fine, and it's not a very fun and good time. But I think it is. I like Ultron as a villain. He's not that complicated, but I like his voice. His voice it pleases me to listen to him speak, and he does speaking good in movie. He got cool different bodies, and there was the spooky Pinocchio fun stuff. That was cool. I like that marketing that they were doing with the spooky Pinocchio song. The Hawkeye bits are really cool. I really like Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye gets downplayed a lot, but they hinted quite a bit throughout this movie that he was probably gonna die. Like he was lying about a family and all this kind of stuff, and he had some secrets, and it was like, what's going on with this guy? And then you find out that, oh my god, he's got a family, and then, oh no, wait. They've been introducing us to Hawkeye and making us feel things about Hawkeye, and oh no. But then no, it's the fast guy instead. You weren't seeing that. You didn't see that coming, did you? No, he didn't. Yeah, James Spader's voice is just incredible. He does such a good villain. I would love to see Ultron back in the MCU. I mean, technically we kind of did in Multiverse of Madness, but I would have liked to see actual James Spader Ultron. I want to see actual James Spader Ultron back. Give us that back again. I like Claw as well. Claw was also good. I think introducing Vision, yeah. Paul Bettany finally getting some screen time. Yeah, I think introducing Vision and having the voice of Jarvis play Vision, that was all very cool stuff. Introducing Wanda, and I mean, you get Pietro and stuff like that as well, which is cool. But I mean, Wanda is around and doing things these days, or was. I mean, you get the introduction, really, of the idea of the Infinity Stones kind of being a real thing, which is exciting. The Iron Man fighting the Hulk scene, I think, is really fun to watch. That's just a good time. I don't know. The story, I guess, isn't overwhelmingly exciting, but it was just fun to see them all on screen again. It was, I don't know. It was fun. It was just a very good and fun time, exactly like the square suggests. What else was a very good and fun time? Let's see. I don't want to do all the divisive ones, like, right off the bat. Let's do one that I think we can all agree on, which is this one. Let's take Loki Season 1 and put it right on into a very good and fun time. Because I think it was a very good and fun time. I liked watching it weekly. That was really fun because it gave me like a little mystery to think about each week. It was nice. Oh shit, Game Nut, you're right. War Machine, yes. Boom, you looking for this? That is great, but also you got the hammer scene as well, where they all try to lift the hammer. Forgot that was in Age of Ultron as well. I think Age of Ultron is a very, very good and fun time. I'm itching towards super cool and groovy. I might push it up there, but I think I might get yelled at for that. So we'll leave it where it is for now. Loki Season 1 I thought was really fun. I liked seeing Morbius. I liked seeing Owen Wilson in the MCU. That was really cool. It like broke open the world a little bit. It was confusing, but it was interesting to like talk to other people about because other people had, again, the discussion around TV shows and stuff like that also play a heavy factor on if I like them or not. Because that is just part of it for me. I like to talk to my friends about movies and speculate. It's fun. So doing that week to week with Loki was really fun. And the twists and the turns and the reveals and I don't know, it was a really good time. I liked it and I think it served a purpose. A glorious purpose, you might say. Wah wah. Wah wah. Let's go next with. Let's see. Do we go crazy with it again or no? Let's go. Let's do it. We're gonna put Ant-Man in It Was Fine. Because I think it is fine. I really, really, really like Edgar Wright. So when he pulled out of Ant-Man, I was very disappointed. And I still, to this day, want to see an Edgar Wright movie in the MCU at some point. And we might get it. It's unfortunate it wasn't Ant-Man. Because you can see some of it. If you watch the movie, you can kind of feel some Edgar Wright in there still. But it's just not the same. And I think one day we might actually get that. But until then, Ant-Man is the Edgar Wright MCU movie that never was, and for that I can't put it any higher. I like it. It's great. I think it's fine. The Conversation, you know the one with all the fast cuts. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's very Edgar Wright. I read his pitch for his version of Ant-Man and honestly kind of glad he left. Oh, really? Well, oof. But yeah, I think Ant-Man, again, I don't mind watching it. If it comes on, I'm not necessarily going to turn it off. But I'm not exactly excited to watch it because it's just it's a fine family movie. Like there's nothing crazy about it. There's nothing really to think about after it's over. There's nothing really to like speculate or wonder about. It's just a fun movie, and I like Paul Rudd, which is great. Who doesn't like Paul Rudd? So yeah. Pretty good. It's fine. Let's see. What movie do you guys want to do next? What one? Shout out a title. Let's go. Paul Rudd is infinitely likable. Exactly. Yeah. I was a little annoyed. Oh God, Dark World. Oh boy. Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think, was made more bearable because of Paul Rudd, which was nice. All right. I mean, I said shout out one, and we're gonna go for it.
Who got his left arm and left leg cut off?
No, I
It's
didn't.
okay, he's all right now.
Ah, Odie,
Hey look, I found a button.
you found a button. Thank you so much for finding the Twitch Prime button, Jeffrey Bezos. This sub is on him, so thank you very much, Odie. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. 8 months as well. Holy crap, that's almost a year. We're ranking the MCU. What do you think of our current ranking so far? Do you agree? Do you disagree? How's everything looking? Zuckerberg and Gates and Buffett, amateurs can fucking suck it, suck my ball. Come on, Jeff. Get him! Hold on, I noticed something. Let me change that. Now you can see my cursor. Now when I'm like motioning at things like this, like motioning at like Loki, like that. Now you can see. You haven't seen all of these movies. Oh no. Well, spoilers are ahead, my friend. Spoilers are ahead. We're ranking them all, so we're inevitably going to be talking about them all in some way or shape or form. Oh boy. Is Amber here? I don't think Amber's here, so I think we can we don't really need to worry too much about where we place Thor the Dark World. I think Thor the Dark World probably belongs. I think it's fine. I think Thor the Dark World is fine. Earlier in the MCU, I think it was worth a skip because it wasn't super interesting. I think now, having seen the comedic Thor and the also overly comedic Thor, it's kind of nice to go back to a Thor who's a bit more fantastical instead of silly goofy goof. So it's kind of like a breath of fresh air to go back to it. The visuals are like stunning because you get to see a lot more Asgard than the first movie. Christopher Eccleston is a bias as well. Just having him in anything is just kind of cool. So, you know, he's not exactly a memorable villain or anything, but not many Marvel villains are memorable villains. There are very few. So I think that is fine. I don't think a villain needs to be overly memorable, if I'm honest with you. Especially, I mean, Thanos, sure. Sure. But like Malekith, I don't know. It doesn't feel necessary. They can bring him back and make him a big deal if they want to, but he doesn't need to be a big deal in this movie, you know what I mean? The Green Surfer was totally a memorable villain. The Green Surfer with Ryan Ramirez. Yeah, no, there's a lot of emotion in it as well. One negative point that I'll give it is meow meow. Just someone teach the poor girl how to say it right. For goodness sakes, please. Please, someone acknowledge her. Just once. I'm not mad at Darcy. I love Darcy. She's fantastic. Everyone ignores her when she says it wrong. Someone please correct her. It drives me crazy. It's not meow meow. It's Mjolnir. It's not hard to say. Please. Tomcat, please. This is your job. It drives me crazy. So that's the one negative that I'll bring up about Thor the Dark World. Darcy is in WandaVision. She doesn't say meow meow, not even once. And it's so good. It's so good. It's very entertaining that I, of all people, love that pronunciation. You can't, Matt. You can't do that to me. You have to hate it with me. It's not meow meow. It's Mjolnir. It's easy to say. And everyone just ignores her. Please, someone correct her. It's easy. No, I hate it. Everything right up to Loki's death is just emotion. Again, yeah, you've got incredible Loki stuff in this as well. You see him in prison. You see the state of him after losing his mother. It's very emotional. You know, him and Thor need to work together, and Thor decides to trust him, and he stabs him in the back again, but it was a trick, and then he stabs him in the back again, but it was a trick, and then he stabs him in the back again, and it was a trick. And it's just, there's just everything but the main plot in this movie is interesting. And I think what Game Nut says, the first 2/3 of the movie are fucking drama. And I think that's probably accurate. I think 2/3 of this movie, which is not the main plot, everything that's in between the main plot. So it's like they made a sandwich with stale bread, right? That's what they did here. You got the best materials man could buy on some stale bread. So, like, it could be the best sandwich ever. But it's not quite there, unfortunately. Darcy is kind of brilliant. No, exactly, yeah. She's very smart. She's very intelligent. And Kat Dennings is just wonderful as well, so very good. And then Loki gets stabbed in the front, but it's a trick. Yeah, there are a lot of tricks. And no, Odie, we're not hating on Swirly for the pronunciation. No. We're hating on characters in the MCU for not correcting mistakes that they hear spoken out loud. I think that's fair, right? I think Thor: The Dark World is fine. It's fine. I do also now, yes, want to see a movie where Loki gets stabbed by a truck as well. What if? What if? You know what I mean? What if? All right, next one. What do you want? That was fun. Letting you guys pick the movie next. What next? What do you want next? What should we do next? And yes, Kat Dennings is quite the beauty. Hulk. Okay. All right. Another interesting one to talk about. He's incredible. He's green. And he's on the scene. And I think the Incredible Hulk is I think it's fine. I think it's a very acceptable movie, but the cast change, the tone change, the shift, it doesn't work in my brain. It doesn't work in my brain. Skipping this in a marathon makes more sense to me than actually watching it because it just makes more sense in my brain. Does that make sense with you? I think it's a great movie. I like watching it. I think it's fun. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think Tim Roth is incredible as Blonsky. It's really, really cool that they've brought Abomination back because I'm excited to see more of him and that character from this universe. And there are rumors that Liv Tyler is also coming back. And we know General Ross has been around. So, like, the universe and stuff, it makes sense. But I think it's a great movie. It's got some really fun moments. When he said, like, at the beginning where he's trying to learn the language and he doesn't quite know it. And he says, don't make me hungry. You won't like me when I'm hungry. That's funny. So, there's really good moments in it. But there's other stuff that, again, the cast change is the biggest one for me. And yeah, messing it up with the problems with Universal, not giving Hulk his own solo movies until the Avengers and having to feature in other stuff, that all kind of drives this one down. But again, I think it is still a good watch. I think it's a good time. William Hurt kills it as General Ross. He absolutely does. In every appearance, even like in Civil War when he shows up. It's not for very long, but it's great. Like, he was really good to see. They need to fix the name to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The Hulk is too short. You're right. They need to fix that. They also need to give him like a little smoking pipe and a top hat. That's what we want. Send Hulk back in time. Change his name to Jekyll. Give him a top hat. There you go. Hire me, MCU. Did Liv Tyler come back for What If? I didn't know that. Is that for What If Season 2? I haven't seen any of it yet. So I didn't know. That's cool. Nice to see her back. I'm sure there's more rumors going around that she's going to be in the next Captain America movie. But just rumors. Oh, she was in that one where she all died. Oh, I might have known that then. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to pick the next one, and this is where it's time to make people angry. It's Eternals time. Hooray! Let's all get excited to talk about Eternals, the movie that the Marvel people decided they were going to make. And here it is. And here it is. And I think it belongs right about I think it was fine. I'm very, very close to putting it into a very good and fun time, but I'm not exactly itching to watch it again because I kind of got it the first time. I think it was fine is where I'm gonna put it. And now you gotta hear me out, okay? All right. The movie itself, sometimes hard to follow, kind of weirdly paced. There's a lot of characters going on, right? But what it does do is get me very excited to now see where these characters go and end up. These are some characters that I can't wait to see pop up in the post-credit scene of another movie, you know what I mean? I'm looking forward to that. I want to know what happens to this. The characters that were introduced, I really like them. I think it shows off super speed in one of the best ways that we've ever seen on screen. It was really, really cool to see. And you know, the twist, I saw the twist and stuff coming. Like, you kind of know what's going on. The Into the Sun thing was a bit on the nose. The villains, again, forgettable. But how often are they memorable, really? And they were fun to watch. I liked watching them, like, upgrade and evolve. I think that was an enjoyable thing to watch in a movie. I think they're going into the cornfield with the Inhumans since they have the X-Men rights finally. I don't think they're just going to ditch characters in the MCU. Again, I think they have their value. I think they'll show up. Hold on, let me just see here. I don't know. I thought it was fine. I didn't hate it. It wasn't boring. I was interested in what was happening. I really liked the cast. I really liked the setup for the Black Knight. Is it the Dark Knight or the Black Knight? It's not the Dark Knight, surely. Dane Whitman. That's his name. I'm really excited to see Kit Harington. Is that his name? Kit Harington in the MCU. That's again another thing that I'm excited by. I'm excited to see where these characters go. I'm excited to see where Dane Whitman ends up. I'm excited to see what happens with the giant mountain of a man sticking out of the ocean now. A lot of people are really, really pissed off that no movies have addressed that yet. And I'm just like, give it time. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, it doesn't match up canonically. Who cares? Who cares? They'll address it when they address it. It's fine. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about it. Not to mention, honestly, again, very, very close to pushing it into a very, very good and fun time. Simply because having Angelina Jolie in the MCU is just that is just the coolest and best thing in the world, I think. I'm very excited to see her more in the MCU because that's fucking badass. She's fucking badass. That's Angelina Jolie. All right? In the MCU. Can you believe that? That's wild. If people get angry about things not being in order, they definitely shouldn't read Wheel of Time or The Witcher. Are both of those not in order? Oh my. So anyway, I think The Eternals is fine. Not rushing to watch it again. Very, very interested to see where the characters end up. What's going to happen to them all. Also, yeah, Game Note, you might not be totally wrong about them going into the cornfield, but they might just write off a few characters and keep a few, you know? Write off a few more, keep a few. You might not see them all back again. You might see some of them. You might see some of them in a sequel, and then not until the big Avengers movie as a cameo or whatever. Who knows? Who knows? Angelina Jolie ain't going anywhere. She's going into space to hang out with a troll and Harry Styles. And I'm very excited that he's in the MCU as well. Very, very cool. Love that. time jumps happen between character stories, and it's hard to place if it's happening before, simultaneously, or after the previous character's chapter. That's frustrating. That would drive me crazy. That would drive me absolutely crazy. But I'm glad you bring that up, Odie. Time jumps. Well, time jumps. Well, hey, I know a friend and fella who does time jumps a little bit. And listen, again, just like with the Marvels, I'm not going to spoil this one because it's too new. But we are going to take Loki Season 2, and we're going to stick that right where it belongs in Super Cool and Groovy, baby. Because that was really good. That was fun. I liked Loki Season 2. I don't want to talk about it too much because of spoilers, but I thought it was a good time. It was a very good time. You got to see a lot more Owen Wilson, a lot more Tom Hiddleston. We got to see some stuff happen that is very, very cool. Certainly stuff I didn't expect to be seeing ever, which is wild. But it's just really cool. I really like some theories that have started popping up already because of certain elements and certain things that happened and how they happened and why and where and what. With recent developments as well, things are also a little bit more interesting because now there's also the factor of, well, now what? And oh God, what do they do now? And who's it going to be? And that's also very exciting and interesting to kind of see where the future's going to go. We got to keep in mind, too, we only get one Marvel movie next year. In 2024, there's only one. Now, it's a big one, mind you. It is Deadpool 3. So it's a big one. And you got Madam Web, too, if you want to count that, and Kraven the Hunter, but I'm not counting those. Oh, God. Oh, boy. I kind of forgot about him, if I'm honest with you. But, yeah, Deadpool 3 is the only MCU movie next year, so we've got a little bit of catching up time and some swapping around of things to happen, which I don't know, I think could be exciting. The writer strike, I think, is going to make things better for the workers and for us as the fans. So I don't know. I think some good stuff happened in Phase 5, but I think we're in for a treat now with some of the next stuff that's coming up, which I'm excited for. And yes, I agree. You should get to Loki Season 2. It's a very good watch. Very, very good time. Is anything going to be put in Drop the Ball today? Has anything in the MCU dropped the ball, I wonder? Is he going to talk about anything that's bad or anything that's good? Well, should we do it? Should we do it? Should we do it to him? We're going to do it to him. Hey, everybody. Thor, Love and Thunder. Odie, you took the words right out of my mouth. Goodness gracious. I'm a funny guy, guys. I'm a funny, silly, goofy guy. And this movie, man, oh man. Again, I think there's a lot of really good stuff in here. I'm quite excited about what's coming from what Thor Love and Thunder set up. I think it's interesting. I think they introduced some new characters. But the reason it's not going where the Eternals is because I thought the Eternals was enjoyable to watch, while Thor Love and Thunder was not enjoyable to watch, so it could have done more, and then it took the characters that I liked and ruined them for me, really. Which was no good. And again, you've got a forgettable villain who, again, I think saying a movie has a forgettable villain, I don't think is an argument anymore, because most of these movies have forgettable villains. Like nobody's talking about Warmonger as their favorite villain, you know what I mean? And that's from Iron Man. That's like, you know, so I think discounting the movie because of the forgettable villain, I don't think you can use that. Also, I think Christian Bale did a great job with what he was given, but you can't call a character Gore the God Butcher and not show us him butchering any gods. He got one at the beginning, and then just that was it. I'm not afraid of this man. And then he he changes his mind at the end. He's like, oh, actually, what I did was kind of bad. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I think that was them biting off a little bit more than you can chew. Because with a character like that, I think they could have. Yeah, I agree with Matt. Could have done more is also a very good argument for where you could place this. I think Gore the God Butcher is probably one of those villains that you want to keep around for maybe a movie or two instead of totally doing away with them right away. It tried way too hard and failed. I agree. Yeah, it definitely went for the Ragnarok feel, but the humor just didn't hit. I've heard a lot of people say that they didn't like the opening scene where Thor accidentally like destroys the building and stuff, but I actually do like the opening scene. I think that opening scene is like one of the funny scenes that does work for me. The rest of it I'm not in love with. I like the fact that Thor is like a dad now, because all of these characters need to go through some sort of arc that kind of wraps up their story. And I think, yeah, we've got to do the whole Thor becomes his father character arc, and he can't do that if he's not a father, and now here we are. We've made it. I think I really like the idea of seeing Jane as Lady Thor or the Mighty Thor, whatever the character's name is, but we didn't really get to see her do much. Like, she fought a little bit, and there were some cool moments. The scene on the planet that's all black and white, that's cool as shit. That was some really good visual work. Also, oh my god, where is it that they go? Zeus is there. Why can't I think of the name of the place? What's it called? They go hang out at... Oh my god. The God Realm? But isn't it? Where does Zeus hang out? Mount Olympus. Was it not Olympus? Or was it just called the God Realm? Olympus, yeah. Jeez, I could not think of that word for a while there. Anyway, visuals there also very, very cool. Seeing all the different types of gods, that was another joke that went over well with me. I think that was pretty funny. I think Kurt Russell as Zeus was very, very good as well. I think that was fun. I'm excited to see Hercules in the MCU as a potential friend or foe. I don't know. Again, I think there's some good stuff here, so I don't hate it. I don't dislike Thor: Love and Thunder. I hate those fucking ghosts. Like, get those out of there. Talking about lamb chops. I'll tell you, you can make some lamb chops out of those fellas. Let me tell you what. It wasn't Olympus because other gods were there. Omnipotent City. Oh yes, okay, right. Like Boston, Khonshu. Yeah. They're getting more into the god stuff too. I kind of forgot about that, because they talk about Bost in Moon Knight as well. But no, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Love and Thunder. I think you could move it up to could have done more, but I think the things that disappointed me are just dragging it down just a little bit more. So we're gonna leave him there. Bast is the Panther God, yeah, but I'm pretty sure they mentioned Bast. I think the hippo mentions Bast for a quick second in Moon Knight. Well, you know what? Since we're talking about it, hey, look, it's Moon Knight, everyone. And I think... Oh, boy. Okay. This one... Oh, man. This one is the hardest one so far. I'm tempted to put Moon Knight in a very good and fun time, but if I'm doing that, then I'm kind of tempted to move... No, I'm going to put it in a very good and fun time. I was going to say I might have to move Loki up to super cool and groovy, but no, I think Moon Knight is a very good and fun time. No, it's fine. I'm going to move it down. I've changed my mind. Very suddenly and quickly. It's fine. It's fine. I think the very first episode was really, really cool. Not seeing the fights and stuff like that that's going on. Like, that was really interesting. I don't know much about the character, so I was very, very hooked right away. I remember saying to Rob, my coworker at the time, that, like, that was the coolest first episode of a Marvel show so far. And I think it might still hold that position. I think Jason Isaacs' acting is phenomenal. I think it's just incredible. The woman who plays Layla, I think she's also phenomenal. The man who voices Khonshu is phenomenal. We're talking about good voices with James Spader. I think I could listen to Khonshu speak for hours and hours. I think they kind of overdid it a little bit on the moon symbology. There are some shots where he, like, runs out and jumps across, like, a roof. Oh, sorry. Oscar Isaac, yeah. Jason Isaacs is Malfoy. Lucius Malfoy. Oscar Isaac, thank you. Yeah, just there's so many times that I feel like they tried to force the moon into a shot, and it seems, I don't know, that throws me off from time to time. And I think the ending is tried and true of what people have said. Like, this is not the show to end in a big, giant, punchy super battle fight. Just didn't fit. Just didn't really fit. Though, I love the design of the giant crocodile god. I think she was fucking incredible to look at. The CGI on her was amazing. That's another, like, character that I kind of want to know more about. I'm kind of sad. Like, is she gone forever now? I'm not sure. But just I don't know. I don't know if that worked. I like the idea of the Scarab, a new MCU exclusive superhero that they came up with. I don't know if she's going to keep the moniker because, you know, she was only possessed by the god for a certain amount of time. So it might not stick around. But hey, if it doesn't stick around, that's fine by me. That was just a fun moment. Good costume. Fun time. F. Murray Abraham voice is like gravelly butter. One of the reasons I love Grand Budapest. Grand Budapest is a good movie, yeah. I think that's solid reasoning. But again, I like the character of Moon Knight. I like the fact that we got a fun little cliffhanger. I liked Ethan Hawke's character. I thought that was interesting. The is this real back and forth was also interesting. Not my favorite kind of cliche, kind of gimmick kind of thing, but I think they did it well. It was visually interesting enough to keep me interested. I like the costumes. You know, I don't love the new trend in the MCU where all the costumes just kind of are CGI things that show up on people. I'd like to see Moon Knight in the just regular suit more often, because then he just needs to put on a suit. Because I think the suit is badass. I like the not so spooky Moon Knight better than the spooky Moon Knight. But yeah, I thought it was fine. There was some pretty good stuff. There's some pretty bad stuff, so it kind of keeps it in the middle. I don't want to put too much stuff into it. It's fine. Look, we've got a penis shape. If you turn your head, a little bit. Okay, what next? Shall we get another easy one out of the way? I defended it for as long as I could, but I think I had to give in myself. Secret Invasion. I would like to put it in could have done more, but I think people would yell at me. I don't think... See, I don't know. I'm going to put it in could have done more, because I think that's exactly the problem with it. I think getting to see Samuel L. Jackson and Don Cheadle act across from each other, it was incredible. That was something that I was itching to see, and watching it happen in Secret Invasion I thought was incredible. Watching Sam Jackson act alongside the woman who played his wife. I'm not sure of her name, but it was so good. Like, they acted so well together. I think Emilia Clarke did such a good job in her role. I think the guy who played Ravik did such a very good job playing that role. The Martin Freeman cameo, people were so pissed off. Oh, I can't believe he was only in the beginning of the show. It's fine. It's fine. Knowing what Secret Invasion is, they didn't drop the ball, they threw the ball, it flew up, hit them in the balls, and then they threw up. Yeah, I don't understand that. Listen, if you're 13 years into the MCU and you're still pissed off that the movie is nothing like the source material, when are people going to stop being angry about that? When are people going to be annoyed by that? Not once did I go into this expecting what so many other people were expecting, and I think that I didn't watch any of the trailers, I didn't read anything about it, I just watched it, and I think that's why I'm more defensive about it. I totally agree with what I've read. I think it could have been an incredible spy thriller where you don't know who to trust, just like The Winter Soldier, that kind of thing. But it wasn't. So, sucks. And I think it was still enjoyable for what it was. The ending where now there's a Super Skrull who is literally the most powerful creature in the universe, and everybody's upset because, oh my god, Marvel have fucking written themselves into a corner now. They don't know what they're gonna do. They're never gonna be happy again. Blah, 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 blah. My life is ruined. I hold a candle to the idea of, let's see what happens before we get upset about it, yeah? She transformed to the last episode and then the series ended. Let's see what happens first before we get upset about it. If she shows up in the next movie and she's overpowered and it ruins it, then we can be mad. But until that happens, let's not get pissed off about something that hasn't happened yet. Next time we see her, she might have had all those powers taken away somehow. Next time we see her, she might use those powers for 3 seconds and then her head is cut off and she's dead. We don't know. We don't know. We gotta see what happens first. Maybe she'll be like Samus. Maybe she'll get her own movie. At the very beginning, she loses all her powers. And then you've got a trilogy about her going through space and time trying to collect her powers again. Who knows? I'm just saying, let's be hopeful. Let's see what happens first. We may never see her again. She might go, exactly, yeah, she might go live in the cornfield with the Eternals. It's not a problem. I don't understand why people are getting angry about milk that hasn't even been spilled yet. It's fine. The writing itself, the overarching plot or whatever, it wasn't for me. No, I didn't love it. It wasn't the greatest. But people, I swear to God, all I see on the internet these days is they don't give the original Avengers any time. They don't give the original Avengers any character development. They're all so bland. They're all so bland. And then they give Sam Jackson so much time to cook in his own series. And they're like, oh, he's old and weak. He's tired. They're giving him character development. Why are they doing this? I hate it. How come he's not just a badass who shows up and shoots guns? Why are they giving him a character and a personality? Oh, I can't believe he's married. Shut up! Yeah, I said it earlier about Thor. They're getting ready to wrap up these character stories. It's time. Sam Jackson's character arc is that he was a badass soldier, and he's not that anymore. And he's going to have to come to terms with that soon. And I think that's part of his character story. And we wouldn't get that if this show doesn't exist. So I think it could have done more in the sense that, yeah, the story could have been more exciting, more spy thriller or whatever people wanted. But I'm not going to say that they completely ruined it and it's the worst thing the MCU has ever done, because they gave us so much character story with Sam Jackson. Sam Jackson did such great acting, and I don't know. I think it was enjoyable from the character's perspective. Not to mention, oh my goodness, what's her name? I always forget her name. Coleman. Emily Coleman? No. What's her name? She was also fucking incredible. And another actress who I'm just super excited to see more of in the MCU. So much setup in this part of the MCU, you know what I mean? Eventually she learns how to roll into a small ball, but she cannot crawl. No, that's fair. Anyway, that's Secret Invasion done. Let's bring things back up again, shall we? Let's bring things back up again. Get excited. Let's talk about something that everybody likes. which is I'm gonna go with Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna super cool and groovy. Oh, Olivia Colman, that's her name. Thank you very much. A national treasure, an absolute national treasure. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is without a doubt one of the best MCU movies that we get. It's a flawless introduction to an incredible team of superheroes. Everybody gets their time to shine. We get some really cool other actors in there, like John C. Reilly and oh, hold on. Oh my God! Don't tell me her name. Don't tell me her name. I'm gonna try to remember everybody in the MCU. Oh my God, she was in 101 Dalmatians live action version. She was Cruella de Vil. Oh my God, I can't remember her name. Okay, you're gonna have to tell me. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I'm glad that she got a chance to be in the MCU as well. I really like big name actors being in the MCU. It's one of my favorite things about the MCU. Even as a cameo, I'm like, oh my God, was that Bill Murray? Oh my God. I'm so happy he got to have a cameo in the MCU. It's just really fun. Emma Stone? What? Emma Stone's not in the MCU. Although she did play Cruella de Vil, didn't she? I still haven't seen that movie. I see what you did there. Cheeky. Peter Serafinowicz, who, that name sounds so familiar. Who does he play in Guardians of the Galaxy? Anyway, just a solid movie. I mean, Glenn Close, thank you so much, B. That's who it was. Yes. Good stuff. I like Glenn Close. Anyway, just really happy to see Glenn Close in the MCU. It's 4 in the fucking morning. Oh, that guy. Yes. Saul. He plays Saul in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Well, fuck a doodle do. Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, right. Yes. Olivia Colman. Look at that. Olivia Colman, Hot Fuzz, and old Peter Serafinowicz in Hot Fuzz. Guardians of the Galaxy. I think nobody's gonna argue that, right? It's one of the better movies in the series. Very cool. What next? What do we put? Where do we put? What do we put next? I think this one might annoy some people, but we're gonna do it as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put Black Widow in. It was fine. I think I would have put it in as a very good and fun time if it came out after Civil War did, when it should have. I think it was way too late. I think, introducing a movie about a character who is no longer with us is a silly idea. But I thought it was a fun, again, just like Secret Invasion, I thought it was a fun look at a character that we didn't get the chance to get a better look at. I think it should have happened sooner. I love Yelena, setting up that character arc. I love the Red Guardian. I love the whole family dynamic, the family of spies. So they're not a true family, but they became a family from working together for so long. I'm looking forward to seeing the Thunderbolts, to see more of Red Guardian, hopefully, and Yelena and some of the other villains gone kind of good, question mark. Again, another thing that just set up more interesting stuff that I'm looking forward to seeing. The villain in Black Widow is one of those villains that's unfortunately, too real. Gross. Fucking... That's not a fun fantasy villain. That's a real-life, gross, disgusting villain. Fuck off. That's no fun. Didn't like that. Gross. Icky. Give me a creepy man with mind powers. Not just a guy who is creepy and weird. Yuck. Didn't like it. And I mean, that's the point, right? You're not supposed to. He's a creepy evil man, but I want fantasy evil, not real life evil. Ugh. But and again, people complain about the CGI and stuff like that too. But I watch Doctor Who. CGI being not great does not bother me. I don't notice bad CGI. unless like I'm really zoned out of the movie and not paying attention, or when I come home after seeing it and seeing people complaining about it online. That's when I notice it. If nobody said anything, I probably wouldn't notice anything. Like the scene in Black Widow that is infamous for being just an awful scene. Like, yeah, if you stop it and watch it on its own, yeah, it looks awful. But when I was watching the movie, I wasn't really paying attention to how everything looked. I was just paying attention to the story that was happening in front of me. So I thought it was fine. We'll talk about more of that when we get to Ant-Man. Shall we do it now? You guys want to talk about Quantumania now? Is that what I hear you say? Shouting and screaming in the chat? Let's talk about Quantumania. Let's talk about Quantumania. Is that this one? No, that's Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay, let's do that one first then. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp, I think it could have done more. I think that's probably where I'm going to put that one. Yeah, I think Ant-Man and the Wasp had some vision. I think it kind of got a bit muddled. I don't really know what was going on there. They had a villain that was a villain that wasn't really a villain, that was working with someone who wasn't a villain, who was also a villain. So Vision isn't in that movie. Yeah, they didn't have, well, that's exactly, they didn't have the Vision. And if Vision was in Ant-Man and the Wasp, I think it would have been better. Okay, everybody coming in with the same joke. They didn't have the Vision, you silly. You're thinking of Multiverse of Madness, which also didn't have Vision in it. Yeah, it had some neat ideas that just didn't really play out. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Ghost in the Thunderbolts, because again, I don't think she was super interesting or cool, really, in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She was there. She presented some issues that they had to solve, I guess. It was fine. I like Sonny Birch as a character. I think that's really interesting. I hope that they kind of see, we kind of see something happen with, like, who was he working for in that movie and whatnot. Like, I want to see more of that character, because he was a really good bad guy that, again, just didn't really get a lot of time to shine in that one. You know, the whole rescuing Janet thing, I think that was fine. I think that was inevitably going to happen. But I think that could have been like a whole movie arc on its own without the villain stuff. Like the rescuing Janet thing. I don't know. That seemed like it needed a bit more focus, and it seemed like the movie wasn't quite so focused. Him going giant, that was fun. I know, like, he did it in Civil War, but it was fun then. It's still fun here. There was some fun stuff. Like, he was under house arrest, learning magic, all that kind of stuff. They set up some really fun character stuff. But, like Matt said, I think that it had some neat ideas, and they just all didn't really work out. It just didn't really feel like this went anywhere. Not to mention, this came out in between Infinity War and Endgame, so everybody that went to see this was like, what's the point? Everyone's dead, the world is ending. So, like, it was really hard to get behind a movie that was a bit more, oh no, our lab was stolen. Like, it didn't feel like it mattered at the time, you know? So, again, I think that affected it. Well, if that wasn't Quantumania, this must be Quantumania. It is. Okay, so, hot take. I like the guy. I like that they brought back that guy as MODOK. It's a shame that they killed him off. Well, let's talk about Quantumania, shall we? Because I think it was fine. I don't understand why Quantumania gets so much hate, if I'm honest with you. I don't see what was wrong with it. I thought it was fine. They put Bill Murray in the MCU in Quantumania. Spoilers, everyone. He eats a creature, and then a bigger creature eats him. It was great. That's all we need from Bill Murray in the MCU, and I'm glad he was there, and I'm glad he said hello. The CGI, like, yeah, they were in a CGI world, but I didn't see a problem with it. The CGI on MODOK as well, people say it's like fucking awful. It's the worst CGI that they've ever seen. It looks like Spy Kids. I challenge people who say that. And I know Zimby says this. I'm looking at you, Zimby. I'm coming for you. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, watch Spy Kids. You'll take back what you said. And I also challenge you to design MODOK better than they did. Because I don't know how you do that character any differently. He's a massive fucking head in a floating spacesuit with little arms and little legs. How are you going to design that where he doesn't look like an idiot? And they made the character a joke, and I think that was totally appropriate. I think that is totally appropriate. You do not want MODOK as your next big bad. He's a goofball. And I think Darren Cross, the villain, I think the guy who played him fantastically. MODOK is easily one of my favorite parts of Quantumania. I have not seen the MODOK animated series, no, but I have heard it's good. And hey, listen, if people are really upset about MODOK, then I think the opportunity now where they're going with the multiverse, if they want to crack open the multiverse even wider and bring that MODOK in and swap them out, there you go. Bring that MODOK in, and then yeah, then he can be the big bad. Sure. There are always ways to bring characters back and redo them in some way or shape or form. People get so upset when characters are done poorly. It's like, they can write anything these days. It'll be fine. So yeah, I thought Quantumania was fine. The recasting of Cassie, people were really annoyed by the new actress. I thought she was fine. The one criticism that I will agree with was the pacing was very weird. It was really, really annoying that Janet wouldn't tell anybody that was going on, and that's a trope in movies that I fucking can't stand always, and I will always pick up on it, and I will always point it out. So that drove me crazy. But I have seen people say that they're really annoyed that the ants just came out of nowhere and saved the day. They explain that throughout the course of the movie. And Michael Douglas's character is like constantly like checking in on stuff, so I think he knows about it the entire time. So when they save him at the end, I don't think it's like too far-fetched to believe that that's what happened. So yeah, anyway, I thought Quantumania was fine. I'll defend Quantumania. I'll defend Quantumania more than I'll defend Secret Invasion. I'm not itching to rewatch Quantumania, mind you, although I do like it when the guy shouts, "I have holes now." That's really fun. But again, for a marathon, I'm not going to skip it. And yeah, Patton Oswalt does have two MCU characters because he was in Eternals, which is right here. That's literally Ant-Man's thing, that he stops people with just a buggery ton of ants. Exactly, yeah, just a fuck ton of ants solves the problem, and that's great. The Kang stuff is wrapped up in Quantumania as well. So like again, like I said, with ongoing things that are happening currently, I don't think Quantumania is not fucked. Also, I just want to point out, I think I'm one of the few believers that Scott and them, I don't think they came back to the MCU. I think they came back to a different universe that's just very, very similar, but not the same. I think something was up. I think that worry that he had at the very end of the movie, that was like kind of played off as a joke. I don't think it was a joke. I don't think he's in his proper universe. I think something's going on. Have you heard what the meme is of how they deal with the Kangs? Is it to shrink Ant-Man down and have him go, is it that one? And yeah, of course, we love Ant-Man around here because of the Michael Douglas Paul Rudd promotion that they did. It's Ant-Man. It's perfect. Oh, Deadpool kills them all in an after the credits. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. That would be very funny. I mean, honestly, everything we think we know about the MCU could be entirely changed from that one movie. I could see it. I mean, the rumor is right now is that the plot is that he's like collecting the primes, like the Prime Spider-Man, the Prime Wolverine, by jumping across universes. That's the rumor that I've heard anyway. So we might have him collecting some good characters and bringing them over to the MCU. So we'll see. I'm very interested. It's the only movie we get in 2024, so hopefully it's good. I don't see it not being good, so. Kevin Feige goes on one too many mescaline trips, fucks around with everything. There you go. That's Deadpool 3. Listen, all right, we're speaking about Deadpool. We're over here breaking fourth walls like willy-nilly. Shall we also talk about She-Hulk? Attorney at law. Where on earth do you place She-Hulk? I don't know what everybody else thought about She-Hulk, but I'm going to go ahead and take the bullet for this one because I thought it was a very good and fun time. I really liked She-Hulk. I thought the characters it introduced were enjoyable. Again, forgettable villains, but enjoyable. While they were around, they were enjoyable. Not to spoil it, again, just trying to avoid spoilers here. The way it ended, I thought was fun. I thought it was genius. It was something that I heard people talking about might happen, so having it happen I thought was really good. I was on board. I just really liked it. I liked the tie-in to the Hulk universe. I liked all of that stuff. The ending bit with the reveal, I didn't really like that. That seemed really sudden and out of normal with her cousin, let's just say. Not sure about that. So, but again, we'll see where it goes. Could be a cornfield situation. We'll see. We'll see. Not gonna harp on it too much until we see what happens from it. People who hated She-Hulk have never read a She-Hulk book and are mad they got 100% called out in the show. 100%. Exactly. I couldn't agree more. The cameo, I think, was done really, really well, and it gets me really excited to see what they have planned for that. It was a big year for that character, really. So I don't know. I just thought it was a good time. It was fun. I think Tatiana Maslany does a great job in the role. She's really fun to watch. She's fun. She's flirty. She's quirky. I don't know. She's fun. She's a good character. Again, really, really stoked. She's one of my favorite new characters that have been introduced, hands down. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. Segueing right on into another thing that is really, really, really going to make some people mad. And I am going to take that one for this one. And if you want to use your veto, you can. But hear me out first, okay? Please hear me out first. Because I think Hawkeye is super cool and groovy. I really like Hawkeye. It might be my favorite of the TV series, if I'm honest with you. I think it's the pinnacle of the trilogy. If you take we didn't know anything about Sam Jackson's character, we want to see more. We didn't know anything about Black Widow, let us see more. We didn't know anything about Hawkeye, let us see more, I think is the pinnacle of that. This is the perfect, you want to know more about Hawkeye? Here's Hawkeye. He's there to get the job done. He's not there to goof around and have a good time. He doesn't want to be a hero. He's just there to do the job and move on to the next job. So he can move on to the next job. He's no bullshit. And I think it was nice to see that kind of perspective on his character. To see that, like, he's got a hearing aid now. He's been through so much shit that he's got a hearing aid. And no one would ever know because he doesn't moan about it. He doesn't whine about it. It's just part of the job. He just carries it. You know what I mean? He carries quite a lot, which I think is really cool. Oh yeah, the Megan Thee Stallion camo in She-Hulk. Yeah, that whole drama about the twerking and whatnot, like, that's so stupid. I don't even give it a second look. People can dance. People are allowed to dance. There's nothing wrong with dancing. I don't understand. Kate Bishop. We just spoke about She-Hulk being one of my favorite characters, but Kate Bishop is the new Iron Man for me. I am all on board the Kate Bishop train. I loved, what's her name? I loved her in Bumblebee alongside John Cena. And she did a really good job in Spider-Verse. Why can't I remember her name? And she's just so good. She's funny. She's clumsy. She's silly. She's goofy. She's got, like, the acting down pat. I love that we're getting, like, a new version of Hawkeye, which is really, really cool. I like that he got to be involved in this show. I love the Kingpin reveal. Like, the big Kingpin reveal at the end. Did they screw up Kingpin? No, I don't think so. This is another thing. It was just a brief a brief appearance in a different show. Yeah, he's going to feel a little bit weird. He's not going to feel right. He's not in his own show. Let's give him some time. Apparently, we're going to see quite a bit of him in Echo. So, if he's bad in that, then we can make our judgments. That's what I'm on board for. Haley Steinfeld. That's who it is. Thank you. Just really excited to see where they go with that. Having Yelena show up to try to kill Clint. The whole Christmas thing. I love the Christmas vibes around Hawkeye. All the trick arrows were really fun. The tracksuit mafia were really, really fun, enjoyable villains. The twist with the mom and the twist with Jack. A lot of people said like the twist with Jack was so obvious, but I don't think it was, because he was like, that was, again, the whole part of it was the weekly discussion, and I remember the weekly discussion being, is it Jack or is it not Jack? Is he too obvious, or is that perfect? It was that discussion of who's bad, who's not bad. And I just really liked Hawkeye. I again, shoot me if you think I'm wrong. That's totally fine. But I think Hawkeye was definitely one of the better TV shows that they did. Now, for this one, I don't know where to put Miss Marvel. Because again, this is another one that I think might get me some flack for where I'd put Miss Marvel. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put Miss Marvel in Could Have Done More. And I don't know if that's another thing. This is the other major series that you missed. Okay, again, we'll watch the spoilers, just in case, because you never know. I love the premise. The first episode of Miss Marvel was so good because they had the comic book inspired graphics. It was really, really fun. I think Iman Vellani, I think her name is. I think she's incredible in the role. She's a really, really good character. I'm really excited to see what she does in the MCU. I think she was great in the Marvels as well. Really, really fun. Just another character that I'm really excited to see more from. And in the Marvels, it was really good. The only downside, again, forgettable villain, yes, but there's so much of this story focused on the villains, and then they end up just being so boring and so just not anything really. So that I don't know, I didn't really like that. And the cool comic book style that they have in the first episode slowly vanishes throughout the series. It's just not as oomph anymore. It's not as impactful. It seems like they had a lot of spark when they were editing the first episode, but then they ran out of coffee after episode 1, and like everybody was tired or something, and they couldn't come up with any ideas. I felt like it really dropped the ball on that front. If I'm honest with you, if we're bringing, in a hypothetical universe, if we're bringing Edgar Wright into the MCU, get him to direct a Miss Marvel movie, because I honestly think that style would go really, really well with his style, and that would be something really, really cool, because you'd get kind of like a Scott Pilgrim vibe going with the comic book kind of high school character kind of thing, which I think would be really, really cool. That's something that I'd like to see. I think that would be a lot of fun. The big reveal at the end, of course, the little audio jingle, I'm really excited about. That's really good. That's a really good, like, oh shit, kind of last moment, like, hey, did you know this? And the story with the bangles, I think it was really interesting. I'll bring this up a few other times too, but it was really interesting to learn about the culture and stuff like that through Miss Marvel, which I'd like to see more of in future movies. But like the whole bangle, I don't like time travel, and this is a little spoiler, and I'm sorry, but again, this is going to come up later on. I don't like time travel. I think time travel writes you into positions that you don't want to be written into. And this brings me back to Thor Love and Thunder, and another reason why I think it belongs in Drop the Ball and not Could Have Done More. They made such a big deal of killing off 2 characters in the Thor series, and they're just fine again. Like, you can't keep doing this. Death needs to have some meaning. If people are just going to time travel all the time and bring people back from the dead the entire time, we're just going to find ourselves in a supernatural situation, and we don't want to end up there. So anytime there's time travel, I get a bit nervous. And I think it was done well in Miss Marvel, but I'd like to not see it anymore. No, thank you. The real villain is the British, which, yeah, yeah. Some people don't understand the mavity of using time travel to their own means. Oh my God, Game Nut, did you see the Christmas special? Did you pick up on the mavity drop? I'm worried now that this is just a Doctor Who thing going forward for the rest of time. I think that just might be it. Oh my goodness. Okay. We'll do a few more and then we're going to take a quick break. How long are we in? We're about an hour and a half in. How many do we have done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 20. 20 out of 46, I think. So we'll do 3 more and then we'll be halfway there. And then we'll take a little break and then we'll jump back in for the other ones. What should we do next? What would you guys like to see next? Where are we going? What on the board are we going for? Yeah, okay. Well, let's try this out. Let's balance the scales, as they would say. Yeah. You see how Thor: Love and Thunder is all the way down here and dropped the ball? Well, let's go ahead and take its little brother and stick it right on up in Super Cool and Groovy. I think Thor: Love and Thunder is as bad as it is simply because Thor Ragnarok was as good as it was. It was great. It was great. The comedy was perfect. The visuals were perfect. The acting was perfect. The soundtrack was perfect. It was just great. It was just great. They have to fly through the devil's anus. They've got Thor losing his eye, which I really wish they didn't cover up again. Like, just fix it immediately. I wish they had kept that. That would have been a good visual change, I think. But whatever. I don't think many people would argue that Thor Ragnarok is not an S tier movie. I think it's pretty solid. You got, I mean, Jeffrey. Too many actors' names. Oh God, you've got. Oh God, why can't I remember his name? Don't. He's in Jurassic Park. Ian Malcolm. But his real name, which is in the brain somewhere. You know when you're trying to get, like, the last coin out of a piggy bank? That's what I'm trying to do right now. His name is in there, but it's just not coming down out of the hole. I just jiggle my head around a little bit, and it'll pop out. He does the sexy pose when he lies over. And his name is... Bloom? Why do I want to say Bloom? It's not Chris Pratt. It's not Mark Wahlberg. You're not helping. You're not helping. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. It'll come to me. Don't tell me. It'll come to me. Emma Stone. Exactly. Yeah. Bill Murray. No, it's not Bill Murray. All of these people are technically in the MCU. Literally. Chris Pratt is in the MCU. Mark Wahlberg is in the MCU. Emma Stone, technically. Bill Murray is. Literally. And listen, since you mentioned Emma Stone, let's just go ahead and top off that super cool and groovy spot with Spider-Man No Way Home. Was it the greatest story? Nah. Does it emphasize... Is it the greatest Spider-Man movie you'll ever see? Nah. I don't fucking care. I don't give 3 shits about any of that at all. There's 3 of them in this one. There's 3 of them. There's 3 of them. Mark Wahlberg is absolutely in the MCU. He plays fake Loki in Ragnarok and Love and Thunder. Oh no, wait, hold on. That's not Mark Wahlberg. Shit, no, damn it. That's the other guy. Damn it, you're right. Oh, I got their names mixed up. That's Matt Damon. Yeah, no, you're right. Shit. Damn. Too many names in my brain. Too many names. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that, like, oh, No Way Home is just nostalgia bait. Like, oh, they just tricked you into thinking it's a good movie because they put all your favorite characters in it. It's like, fucking yes! Yes! Absolutely! If I go to a concert and they play all my favorite songs, specifically my favorite songs, do you think I'm going to be pissed off? No. No. They put everything I like in this movie. I'm not mad about it. Why do people have to be mad about it? It was so fucking great. I don't get why. Oh, but it wasn't. But he's not poor in this one. I don't care. They did the meme. They all pointed at each other. Tobey Maguire said his back hurt. Andrew Garfield. Watching Andrew Garfield catch Zendaya in No Way Home, I will cry every time. Every single time. Hi, Emily. How you doing? What's up? We're passionately arguing. Arguing? No, we're all in agreement. We're all in agreement on this one, I think. We're passionately talking about the MCU here today. We're having a good time so far. How you doing? Merry after Christmas. Merry belated Christmas. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. The only thing that scene is missing is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 theme when he saves her. I don't really know the theme myself, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, that would probably be better. That would probably be better. I actually laughed when he caught MJ. I thought, well, that's because he got better with practice. Oh, yeah, you don't say. You don't say. You don't say. All right, so I'm going to do a thing. I said we'd do 3 more, and then we're going to take a quick little break because we'll be at the halfway point. So I'm going to do the 3rd one, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the tier list without saying anything, and then we're going to take a break, and I'm going to let you stew in what I do. Okay? But what movie is he going to pick, and where is he going to put it? Where is he going to put it? Oh my god, the drama is building in the background with that Pokemon music too, isn't it? Oh my goodness, things are building up. Oh my god, is he going to take a really good movie and put it somewhere poor? Is he going to take a really bad movie and put it somewhere good? Oh, it could be anything. It could be anything. He's certainly not stalling and looking through the movies to try to figure out what to do next. Oh, that would be ridiculous. He certainly wouldn't do something like that. Wait a minute. I'm going to take... Oh, Game Nut. I'm going to take Captain America, the First Avenger. And I'm going to put it... 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 Feel like you're being edged? No, I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm gonna put it... Okay. It's break time. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. I'm gonna put it right here. Alrighty then. We're all stretched. We're all peed. We all had a nice relaxing quick break and a stretch. Oh, crack all your bones. Every single one of your knees. Don't forget either one of them. Yeah, we're back. Sorry about that. Gotta take a break every now and then, you know? All 5 knees, exactly, yes. Crack them all. Crack them all. Hold on. Apparently, a bunch of the Destiny 2 stuff was free on Epic recently, and a bunch of my friends just picked it all up, so we might actually jump into some Destiny after the stream, which I'm looking forward to, because I've played a little bit of Destiny in the past, and I didn't understand what the hell I was doing throughout any of it, so it'll be nice to have some friends doing it too, so I can backpedal off of their knowledge. Where'd we leave off? Let's see. Yes, right. We just put Captain America in the super cool and groovy tier, and yeah, listen, I was debating putting it in Drop the Ball just before the break and leaving you to mauled, but I didn't want to do that to you. We're all about honesty around here. We don't do tricky jokes like that. Though I should have, because it would have been really funny. It would have been really funny. But no, Captain America's a great movie. I always liked this movie. I don't know why some people didn't like it. I think it's a perfect character introduction. I like that it's a timepiece. Like, we get to go back in time for a bit, which is really fun. The set decoration and the military stuff is all just really cool to see. I think, like, the Red Skull, just like all of the villains in the movies we've talked about so far, doesn't really do much. Like, he's just there to kind of give, you know, Captain America something to do. That's really it. But, like, he's pretty cool. He's definitely one of the better ones. Certainly more memorable. And having the fan theories about what happened to him after touching the Tesseract and stuff like that, that was all really, really fun. So, like, that got a little bit more attention and excitement came out of it. Stuff like that, too. The whole cast, yeah. Steve Evans as Captain America is just like Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. I think it's just perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. Sebastian Stan is great. You got the other Howling Commandos, who I remember a lot of people saying, like, oh, I'm so upset, like they didn't. Oh, sorry, Chris Evans. Jeez, sorry, too many names. Steve Rogers, Chris Evans. There you go. Just like I think people complained the Howling Commandos didn't really get more screen time or anything like that. But again, just like the Warriors 3. Like, unless they're going to be really, really big players in the MCU, you can't really give them that much screen time, you know? Who knows? They could always come back. One of the guys was a principal in Spider-Man, right? The same actor, so you never know. The scientist who made the formula was good. Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Jeff Goldblum, by the way. Jeff Goldblum. Didn't Google it. Just came to me. But now I'm trying to... Tucci. Stanley Tucci. Oh my god. I thought that one had left me as well, but I wasn't going to let it. Not Mark Strong, but I can understand if you got them both confused. Because I like Stanley Tucci. Yeah, Stanley Tucci's great, but I also like Mark Strong. Not the same person, surprisingly enough. Did you guys know Stanley Tucci is not in the Kingsman movie? Anyway. Yeah, no, I think Captain America, great intro. Just love that stuff. Also, has Natalie Dormer. So, yeah. S tier. That's all it takes. You win. Who have we not talked about yet? Is there anybody that we haven't really touched on yet? We haven't really mentioned Captain Marvel yet. I'm going to put Captain Marvel in It Was Fine, because I think it was fine. I think it was a perfectly acceptable origin story. Nothing that is going to blow you out of the water. I thought, you know, the fact that they weren't giving her power, they were suppressing her power, that's a fun little twist. The Skrulls were interesting in the movie. I really liked Talos, the introduction of Talos. The fight scene at the end, where they bring in the No Doubt tune, that's fucking great. I love a needle drop, and that was a good one. So that gets points. The woman who played Minerva came back to play Game of Thrones name. Hold on. Jesus, what is with me and names tonight? Cersei. She plays Cersei in the Eternals. So like she got killed off in Captain Marvel, but came back in Eternals, which is great because I think she's a great actress, and I'm again looking forward to seeing more. Halfway between SCG and AVGFT. Halfway between secret. Halfway between second oh, sorry. Super cool and groovy. Yes, I see. Okay. Halfway between here. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. I think I could be pushed into pushing it up to. You know what? I think I will. I think I will put it in a very good and fun time. Because again, I would like to watch Captain Marvel again. That's not one that I would say I wouldn't really watch again. So it doesn't really belong down there. I enjoy watching Captain Marvel. Higher, further, faster, baby. Hell yeah. And you get Sam Jackson as well with the de-aging looking pretty good. A lot of people were pissed off at the Sam Jackson eye reveal. I don't know about other people and why, but like not once did I ever expect a serious answer as to how he got the scar over his eye. Not once did I ever consider that it was going to be some badass spy thing that happened to him in the past, or someone really close to him did actually. I never once went into thinking that was it. So when it turned out to be the cat, I was like, ha, yeah, great, fun, I like it. But there are so many people out there that are so pissed off that they didn't take it seriously enough. Who the fuck? It's also not a cat. No, that's a very good point. Yeah, it's a flurkin. It's Goose, and he's great. And I think again, it's just people being too angry about stuff. From my point of view, if you're annoyed by that, I think that's totally fair. But again, it's a silly, goofy comic book universe. We gotta have some fun. And he trusted Goose. It holds up. It's fun. So points. And we get Coulson back again for a little bit, which is also good points. So shall we then, speaking of Coulson, shall we jump in and get the first big one up there? Because I don't think we've done a single big A yet, have we? We've got 4 of them to do. Let's do the first one right here, right now. It's a very good and fun time. I think The Avengers is a very good and fun time. You call me up, hey, you want to watch The Avengers, the first one? Fuck yeah, I do. Let's watch The Avengers. Do you want to watch it twice in one weekend? Nah, not really. Oh, we did Age of Ultron. Yeah, right, okay. Oh, sorry. There we go. Let's make that clear. Let's order these a little bit just to give a bit more clarity on this. Wait. There we go. So yeah, I think The Avengers is a very good and fun time. I think again, knowing what comes after spoils it. I think when The Avengers first came out, it's the best one, right? Absolutely. It was mind-blowing to see those characters on screen. But having seen what we've seen now, it's hard to think the same of it. You know what I mean? So I think it gets pushed down just a tier, just because of some other ones that may show up on the tier above it. You catch my drift. It did, yes. It put the word shawarma in my mind. And I found out what it was, and I fell in love with it. So there's a benefit. You're right, Tomcat. It made discovering shawarma all the much better. Because I wouldn't have even thought to try it if I didn't hear it in that movie that one time. And it was amazing. Okay. What else? When you think of The Avengers, what do you think of? Let's see. Let's go with another one that I think is fine. Let's put the Falcon and the Winter Soldier in fine, because I think it was fine. I think it was perfectly fine. I don't think there's anything that I dislike about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There's just also nothing that I'm super like stoked about it. Zemo dancing was fun. That was a fun little gif that we got to hang out with for a little while. The plot, the story, it was fine. It was more so about the characters, right? The energy and the charisma between the two characters, the vibe that they had going on. The Sharon Carter stuff was a bit, but we'll see. Again, we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm super hopeful in the setup, but we'll see. I don't want to judge it until I see the payoff. It was great to see Zemo again, and yeah, getting to see the two guys banter with each other, also very good. The Winter Soldier backstory, having to get over everything that he did, I think that was really interesting. Going to therapy and stuff, I think that was really cool. Watching Sam struggle, even though he's like a hero, I think that was rough. That's like a brutal, realistic thing that we have to think about. The Isaiah Bradley stuff as well is really, really emotional, really impactful, and I think that was an interesting topic to touch on in the MCU. Again, not really my position to talk on it. I don't know much about the history and stuff like that, so I can't really speak, but I think, at the very least, that's going to shed some light on some stuff too, right? And kind of take a stand on this is where the MCU stands, and that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. I don't like the Falcon or the new Captain America suit. The white, the head strap, it's like a one piece. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I hope that gets updated. I look forward to seeing what the new suit is going to look like. The Flag Smashers I thought were an interesting villain because, again, they're one of those villains that they have a good point. They're just going about doing it wrong. But it was fine. It's just a bunch of other super soldiers, isn't it? It's a bit boring. I'm sick of super soldiers. I don't want any more. They keep telling me there's no more, and then there's more, and it's starting to feel a bit Dalek-y up in here. So I don't like it when shows and series do that. It's like, oh my god, we've hey everybody, it's supernatural, and we've locked hell forever. We're never going to see another demon ever again. It's literally impossible. There's literally no way a demon could ever show up ever again. They're all gone for good forever. Goodbye. And then the next season starts, and oh my god, who's the villain? It's a demon? What? Like, I'm so sick of this. There can't be any more super soldiers if there aren't any more super soldiers, right? Okay? We need to stop cutting our steaks. We like our steaks in one piece. I think who watches The Watchmen? Hypocrisy, weakness, a dying grasp to an old order. Oh my goodness. Watchmen. I've heard people really like Watchmen. It was a bit too deep for me. I didn't really understand a lot of Watchmen back when I saw it, anyway. What word doesn't mean what? Sorry, I wasn't really focusing there. Kind of went on a rant and lost myself in that one. I don't know. Falcon and Winter Soldier, good stuff. I really liked my... Oh, the word impossible. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just keep coming back somehow. Those freaking Daleks, they're always back. The super soldiers, they're always back. In Captain America, the first one, they're like, this is the last bit of the super soldier serum. And then they put it in him, and it's like, that was a big risk. We're never going to be able to make another one like you. And then in the next movie, it's like, oh my god, there's another one of you. We don't know how this happened. And then in Civil War, it's like, oh my god, there were 8 more of you. And it's like, how long is this going to be the thing? Okay, anyway. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, good stuff. Good stuff. Captain America Civil War, since we're talking about it, I'm going to take Captain America Civil War, and I'm going to put it in super cool and groovy, baby. I think Captain America Civil War is super cool and groovy. It's basically an Avengers movie. That's all it is. It's an Avengers movie with Captain America's name on it. And it is It's one of those movies that people will say, is watching the whole movie worth it just to get up to that one part? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. I like watching the tension slowly build between these characters just to end in one of cinema's best fight scenes in that airport. You get the introduction to Spider-Man for the first time in the MCU. You get, all the characters fighting each other. You get Black Panther introduced into the MCU. You get that incredible chase scene on the highway where Black Panther and the Winter Soldier are running down the street. There's so many good visuals in this movie. Zemo's plan is very, 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 very convoluted, and not a lot of it makes a lot of sense. There is that one scene at the very beginning of the movie where he drowns that guy, and it bugs the shit out of me because there's no way that the way the guy is positioned would equal him drowning. His nose would be above the water. The top of his head would just get really wet, and he'd be hanging there for a while. Yeah, it's annoying. But anyway, yeah, introducing Spider-Man was a risk. They took it. It paid off. There was so much more of him in the movie than I expected. Civil War and that fight directly plays right into the beginning of Spider-Man Homecoming, which is a really, really good transition into that. There was the whole Team Cap, Team Iron Man, and you can pick a side, but they're both right. It's just they've manufactured a thing to make you pick a side. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but again, it gives them something to fight about. And we wanted to see them fight because we needed them to break up, because you need to hit rock bottom before you can hit the highest heights. And I think the rock bottom is, beginning of Infinity War kind of area. When does Spider-Man becomes the next Thor? Man, I'd love to see it. Give Spider-Man a hammer. Let's see it happen. Let's get him up in Asgard. Let's get him up in Asgard swinging some hammers. They needed the guy with the ponytail and leather jacket and earpiece to settle it for them. Manufactured descent. Oh yeah, right. No, it's good. I think Civil War is great. I really liked the hype around it, building it up. I remember I was living with Manny at the time, and we were just really, really excited to see it. We were talking about it all the time, watching all sorts of theory videos, all this kind of stuff. Oh, it was great. It's good stuff. And I think, again, for a movie that wasn't an Avengers movie, featured so many characters. You get a bit more Vision in here. You get a bit more Wanda in here. You get to see their perspectives. You get a little bit more Hawkeye, a bit of Black Widow. I mean, you get a bit of everybody. And it's good. And I like, how it all gets set up. Oh, Paul Rudd as well. Our first kind of look at Ant-Man interacting with other people. I mean, it's great. I don't see any reason not to put it in top tier. So then we move down to... Let's just throw this one up there. Let's just talk about this one now, because we can, and it's free. Just like that online game of a story, you can have fun with your friends and experience. Yeah, The Ordinary. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I'm going to put in a very fun and good time. A very good and fun time, because I think it is. Again, a lot of people would say it's probably on the same level as Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think so. I think it does falter just a little bit. Listen, it doesn't falter by very much. It's still a great movie. I love almost everything about it. I feel like it is just more of the same from the first movie, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And I understand why people would rank them similarly. I would highly compare them to 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street, the movies, because they're both very similar. They're both very good for different reasons, but they are both very similar. And I would attribute those to this as well. So yeah, I like the Sovereign. I think they're fun. I think the introduction of Adam at the end is really fun. But it sets up a lot of stuff here that I think is exciting, but it's not exciting enough for it to be a super cool and groovy movie. But again, like I said, it sets stuff up, right? And I think that does give the power to boost up Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 to put it in super cool and groovy, because yeah, I think it's pretty fucking great. It's a James Gunn superhero movie. They're fucking great. They're all good. Hi Keisha, how's it going? What's up? Hello. How you doing? 35 Jump Street. That's quite a few more. We'll get there. We'll get to 35. Yeah, so I think Volume 3 was just a really good send-off. I think they did it beautifully. They spent the entire movie teasing every single character. And whether or not they may or may die. And I think they were good teases because you really didn't know. You had no idea. The trailer where they were carrying Star-Lord, like, no one knew what was going to happen in this movie. And some of it felt very, very close. And it's a brutal watch, especially to those of you who like animals. If you haven't seen this one yet, good Lord, please be mindful before going into watching it because it's rough. It's really rough. But I think that, again, just gives me such an appreciation for the characters that are involved because they really do go through some shit. So it's great. And again, I think James Gunn just nails it. I'm very, very excited to the new... I'm very much looking forward to the DCU because I've wanted to like DC for a while, but I just haven't. And I love James Gunn, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with it. Something I read recently about the MCU is that Phase 1 builds everything up, then Phase 2, they more or less destroy all of it, with Phase 3 being the fallout. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. Because this is an overarching story, and stories have these arcs. You need to hit the highs, you need to hit the lows, and yeah, the overarching MCU story has to do the same thing. Trauma, exactly, Keisha. Sipping on slush, snacking, watching the stream now? Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah, we talk about movies. We're having a great time so far. No real stinkers, as you can see. Thor, Love and Thunder, biggest stinker so far. Will there be any others? Time will tell. Time will tell. Keisha, what movie should we do next? Not to put you on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Unless someone shouts another name first. Because then we'll just do that. And yeah, Kraglin is a solid character. Again, people are really annoyed at James Gunn recently because he keeps putting his family members, like his wife and his brother and stuff, in his movies. But fuck it. He's making a movie. Let him do what he wants. Who cares? I heard people were pissed off that his wife was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. She's literally a character that doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? She's in Peacemaker too. Like, she's a main character in Peacemaker, but she did great in Peacemaker, so who cares? I think it's fine. Is Luke Skywalker a top 5 Disney princess? I think, yeah. Probably. I don't know if I'd put him in my top 5. I like quite a few of the Disney princesses, but I think he is a Disney princess. Oh, okay. Multiverse of Madness. All right, we'll place Multiverse of Madness. We can do that. Okay. All right. We're going to place Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. A movie that I've heard a lot of people are really pissed off about lately. So we're going to take it and we're going to put it right where I think it belongs, which is a very good and fun time. I don't think there's anything wrong with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. People are annoyed that it's called the Multiverse of Madness and he doesn't go in the multiverse. But yes, he does. He literally travels through it. It happens like twice or 3 times. The villain does it quite a bit. It's literally the whole story. I can understand the disappointment in wanting to see more of the multiverse, but we're in the multiverse saga. We're gonna see more of the multiverse. We already have seen more of the multiverse. We've seen the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. We've seen the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. That is the other universe. We've seen it already. We'll get there. We'll get there. I think having Sam Raimi direct the movie made this movie everything. I think if it was anybody else, I think it would have just been a boring. Well, maybe not boring, but like it wouldn't have had the oomph that Doctor Strange I think needed. I think Doctor Strange needed a vibe because I think the first Doctor Strange which we can probably do really quickly. Let's just put it there while we're talking about it. The first Doctor Strange was fine, but it was very bland. It was like soup that had no salt in it. It needed some flavor. It needed something. And I think Sam Raimi was that flavor. I think Sam Raimi should direct the next Doctor Strange movie. I think he encapsulated the spooky, twisted madness of dark magic perfectly. And it was brilliant. The musical fight in the movie, I think, were fantastic. Bruce Campbell, exactly. He had the Bruce Campbell cameo. He had the car was in the movie. We got to see zombie Doctor Strange, which was cool. We got to see creepy, evil Doctor Strange in a music fight, like I said. We got to see a different version of, what's her name? Christine, which was really cool. We got to see Dr. Xavier, played by Sir Patrick Stewart, again. We don't know how many times we have that left. Like, we don't have... It's a sad reality, but we don't have Patrick Stewart for much longer. So every time we get to see him appear on screen, we need to appreciate the shit out of that. Not say, thank you, but we wanted more. No, that's that's huge. One thing I do like is people saying Reed Richards should never have died in such a dumb way, and comic readers are like, actually, that's a little on brand. I think another thing people need to remember, too, is exactly what Stan Lee said when he was asked who would win in a fight between Spider-Man and Wolverine or whatever. He said, I could write either one of them to win, and I could make it make sense. And that's fucking... People need to remember that. Reed Richards should not have died that way. Yeah, but he did, didn't he? Because they wrote it that way. Because that's how they wanted the story to go. Maybe it could have made a bit more sense, but like it made sense to me, and I didn't see a problem with it. But I haven't read the comics, so I don't have that extra layer of character development, right? So it depends on how much you know about the character, and I think people who know a lot about these characters should try to keep that in mind. And yeah, having all the characters die like they did, I think was really fun to see. I mean, I think WandaVision, like we talked about the other night when I said we shouldn't talk about it, I think WandaVision could have driven the point home a little harder that, like, yeah, Wanda's not so great anymore because she made some pretty shitty decisions in WandaVision. But I guess they wanted to end it happy, but with a question, like, is she bad? Is she not bad? Which I think is a fault. Because going into Doctor Strange, I think we probably should have seen her as more of a villain. I think she has enough of a reason, and I think it makes sense, but I think it could have been done better. But it was fine. The Hulk would never lose to a child. Writers make the Hulk trip and snap his ankle on his way to hit the kid. Exactly, yeah. They could literally write anything. They wrote a what-if story where the Hulk literally explodes. He literally explodes because he got stung by Ant-Man. So, like, a character can die... Oh, I bet the same people saying that Reed Richards wouldn't have died like that would also say that the Hulk could beat Ant-Man in a fight, but he didn't. And you don't see people complaining about that. It's because it's whatever has to happen to develop the story. If the MCU canon, our Reed Richards, if the Reed Richards that we got to know over the series of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 movies died like that, then yeah, I'd be fucking annoyed too. But it was a cameo. Who cares? Who cares? When our Reed Richards shows up and doesn't die immediately, we're going to think even better of him for it. So good. That's what it should be. Yeah. Because plot needs to be the answer sometimes. It just has to be. Schizo, how you doing? You getting ready to go soon? Getting live for some Lethal Company? They're effectively throwaway characters in that movie. Exactly. They're not there to set up new characters going forward. We're gonna get a different Captain Britain or whatever if we get one. It'll be a different if it's still Haley Atwell, fine. But it's just gonna be a different version from a different universe. You know, it's fine. People get so upset. But yeah, Multiverse of Madness. Very good and fun time. Highly suggested. Christine was in real danger. Exactly, yes. She was the one who was in danger. None of the characters mattered. Where shall we go next? Well, we were just talking about WandaVision. Let's place it. I'm going to put WandaVision also in a very good and fun time. Because, yeah, it is. And listen, I do think, you know, it's not perfect. It's not an S tier. I think it was interesting. I don't think it's as interesting as Loki. I think it's not the more interesting of the series. I like Agatha. Agatha was great. The song, Agatha, all along, such a great tune. The Halloween episode, I remember I just loved the vibe, the eeriness of it all. The fake out cameo, I think, you know, pissed off a lot of people at the time, and I think rightfully so. I think people were all, you know, all right to be annoyed by that, but now looking back on it, it's like, yeah, all right. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Like, whatever. It's no big deal. But the fact that I went, you know, I've got 2 years of film school under my belt, right? So watching them do all of these different film styles going throughout the ages, that just blew my mind. The fact that they did like the first 2 or 3 series episodes in front of a live studio audience, that's great. They did that so well. Again, just like Miss Marvel, I will say that it does fall off going through the series, but it makes more sense for it to fall off in WandaVision because they progress with the times and it starts to feel more modern. Whereas in Miss Marvel, it just fell off and I wanted more of it. So, fantastic. Yes, we put the ass in fantastic around here. And yeah, I mean, Quicksilver's, yeah, it was fun. It was a silly, it's same as Reed Richards, as John Krasinski as Reed Richards. It's just a quick cameo. It's a silly, goofy, funny thing. It's not meant to be so serious. You don't need to overthink it. And again, that is still kind of a loose end if you think about it. They could easily write something into the story where that turns out to be actually a different alternate reality Quicksilver. Like, we don't know. They could still do something with that. That could still come back. That was very early days multiverse. You know, the whole, can Captain America lift Thor's hammer? Think about how long that fan question was in the air before it finally paid off down the road. That could happen with that as well. It could. Who knows? We do also put the boo in Bootiful. Yes, we do that. We do that. Do that. Okay, well, let's try to speed things up then for the last few, I guess, because I might not have too much to say about the rest of these. I'm going to put Werewolf by Night in Super Cool and Groovy. It's short. It's sweet. Again, as a film student, watching them do some practical horror effects in the modern day in a black and white horror series that's meant to be campy and silly and goofy, fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I can't wait. Even more hype around these characters. I can't wait to see where they exist, what they're doing, where are we going to see them next. Doesn't make any sense. The Bloodstone stuff, like, I don't know. The MCU has been very superhero-y, and it seems like they want to try to creep into the supernaturally side of things, and I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about it. Yes, I won't go too fast, Skitzo. You still got time. You still got time. We're not going to end until you're ready. I won't go too fast. I won't go too fast or too furious. You don't know what Werewolf by Night is, Matt? I highly recommend it. It's an hour long, like Marvel one-off that they introduced for Halloween last year, 2022, and it's just really good. It's an old school black and white campy horror movie, and they did a great job with it. It introduced a character that I never thought we'd really see in modern MCU stories, which is freaking huge. It seemed like, you know, we weren't gonna, you know, this was gonna be like a forgettable thing, but they just did such a good idea. They just did such a good job with like the classic horror, and it's good. It's very good. Highly recommend Werewolf by Night. Oh, you've got Mexican. That's amazing. I had tacos the other night as well. Very good. They have released the color version. Yeah. So there's 2 different options now. You can watch it in color or in black and white. I haven't heard the color. I haven't seen the color one myself, but I heard it's pretty good. Doesn't really do much for it to change. Okay, what else do we have here? I think the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special was a good and very fun time. I think I'd be tempted to put it in it was fine, but like this is something that I am gonna rewatch. Because like this could easily become like a new Christmas, watch it every Christmas kind of thing. Because they nailed, again, just like with Hawkeye, I think they did a really good job at getting the Christmas feeling involved in the MCU. And getting Kevin Bacon in is just brilliant. That's fucking fantastic. It's James Gunn doing superhero stuff again. It's not super cool and groovy because it's short. There's not really much going on, but it's great. You can't argue that it's not great. It's just Drax and Mantis having a good time, yeah. And you got that, you know, if you do want a little bit something more in your MCU stuff when you're watching them, there is that bit of a big reveal at the end, which is really fun. And I like that sort of stuff, so I think it's a good time. Definitely not going to complain about it. Let's just, sorry, just looking at this, let's just reorganize these a little bit. We'll go through and do each layer eventually. I think we'll take the Marvels next because it just came out. We're not really going to do spoilers on it, but I think it was fine. We won't talk about it too much. I think, again, we got some really good character development. I think GameNut made a very good point that this would have probably been a better 3rd movie and not necessarily a 2nd movie. And I can see where you're coming from on that. I think you might be right on that. That they might have bitten off a little bit too much to chew in this one. But again, it was just a fun movie to watch. It was enjoyable. I'm not really overthinking like, oh, we didn't really get to spend much time with this character or that character. Like you mentioned, Captain Marvel doesn't really get to do a lot on her own in her movies. She's always with someone else and always has been. But kind of makes me look forward to the future of the MCU again, right? Like, nobody thought that we were going to get Spider-Man alone either. And we did. So, we'll see. Maybe we will eventually get a Captain Marvel movie when she's on her own. And maybe that's like a big character thing. Like, she's never been alone before, and now she's got to deal with it. So, I don't know. It was a fine movie. Nothing crazy. Again, the villain, just like all the other ones, they're there to serve a purpose as a villain, unfortunately. Not super great. But she was there. Had an interesting idea. The fight scenes were incredible. The thing keeping it out of could have been more. Certainly are the fight scenes. They were a spectacle to watch, and the choreography must have been ridiculous. And I think they did a really good job with it. The planet that they go to, where they have the strange custom, I thought that was a little bit goofy, but like I'm all about a bit of goofy nonsense. So, and who are we to say what they do on other planets? I'm here for it. I think it that part started to get a little bit love and thundery, but it didn't last long enough for me to be annoyed by it, so it was fine. Do you want to give Peter a magical Christmas, or do you want a little funny man? I think I want the little funny man. Drax. Yeah, they had Drax and Mantis had really good banter in the Christmas special. Or the holiday special. And I mean, it's a Star Wars reference too, at the end of the day. So can't hate on that either. And I mean, spoilers, but you get a bit more Yondu, which you never thought you'd get. So that's fun too. The spirit of Christmas. And since we're talking about the spirit of Christmas, this could annoy some people, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to put Iron Man 3 in a very good and fun time. If you didn't like the Mandarin twist, you can get lost in the forest for like 3 hours and then make it out safe and sound. I just want you to get a little bit worried that you're going to get lost in the forest, but then it all turns out fine for you. Because I love the Mandarin twist. I think it's great. I love it. Blowing up all the suits at the end was amazing. Ben Kingsley's acting is fucking phenomenal. The scene where he catches all the people falling out of the plane is so good. And he's not even there. It was the suit the whole time. What? Wild. Fun fact, the little girl at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is Phi Lavelle. She has Captain Marvel's power with the quantum bands. I don't know. Oh, sorry. I was thinking the Marvels. I was like, what little girl at the end of the Marvels? But no, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Right, okay. Interesting. Okay, so we'll probably see more of her. Yub yub. That little girl. But yeah, I think the Mandarin twist was fun. I thought it was great. I like Ben Kingsley, and I like that he is in the MCU more. Solid character. Game Nuts using his veto. Drop the ball. Oh, no. Using the veto doesn't mean you get to pick where it goes. We're not putting Iron Man in drop the ball. I'll take your veto into account, and we'll move it down to maybe it was fine. I don't necessarily agree with your take here. This is the only Marvel movie I nearly walked out of. I cannot sit through her suit fall apart 15 times in the same movie. It's the first appearance of Marvel humor. Jeez. I don't think I've ever thought about the suit falling apart more than once. I've never even considered that a factor in the movie. I don't think that's much reason to say that the entire movie is a shit show and belongs in Drop the Ball. I think it tells a really good story about how Tony Stark has been traumatized and is having panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and he just needs to take it easy, spend some time out of the suit for a bit. Talks to one of the least annoying characters. One of the least annoying child characters in a movie, which is great. You always like to see it when a kid actor is not awful and a horrible person to be around. So I thought he was great. I really liked seeing him show up at the end of Endgame, which I thought was confusing at first. But, because I didn't really know who he was because he looked entirely different. But seeing him there, I think that was special. That was a nice little reference. That kid can go in the cornfield. Fair enough. Well, again, I don't necessarily think if you introduce a character, I don't think you should just get rid of them. I think you should give them something else to do. Rewrite them. Change them up a bit. Maybe we'll see him again. Iron Man's story is kind of wrapped up now, so you're probably right. I don't think we will see him again. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything you can say that can justify putting Iron Man 3 in the same category as Love and Thunder. I just don't think that makes sense in my head. I don't agree that it belongs and it's fine, but I will take your veto into account and I will bump it down a level. I'd give Iron Man 3 its own damn tier. Jesus. Okay, well, I think I'm going to leave it there. You can make your own hate tier for Iron Man 3, but I will say I think you're a little impassioned. Okay, all right. Well, hear me out, okay? So now we'll talk about Iron Man 2, all right? I think Iron Man 2 is I think this one is fine. I think I'd put it here as well. I don't love Iron Man 2. Again, I don't think the argument used to be like Whiplash is so forgettable, but all the villains are forgettable these days. Like I said many times before, very rarely does a villain stand out as special, and when they do, they deserve it, and I think that's fine. Keisha, yes, you can recommend the next one. If it wasn't Iron Man 2, we'll do what you want next. We'll pick that one. And yeah, Schizo, I've heard a lot of people say they like Love of Thunder, and that's totally fine. It just wasn't the one for me. That's all. I think Whiplash was not the greatest villain, but I want my board. Like, that is memorable. I think Whiplash is a memorable villain because of Mickey Rourke's portrayal of the character. He didn't get much screen time, but again, he served his purpose. He gave Iron Man something to do, and he was interesting to watch while doing it. The only thing about Iron Man 2 is I don't like the whole Tony Stark getting drunk, and he's not worth it, and I'm not a big fan of the I'm a superhero and I'm depressed storyline. It's just something I feel like I've seen a lot of, and I didn't like it. It just wasn't for me. It's not the kind of story arc that I like. Although, like, the intro to the movie is fantastic. The Stark Expo and stuff like that. Having the scene where his, like, dad teaches him about the future from the past, like, that's fucking cool. They're a family of geniuses, so, like, yeah, of course. That's so cool. One of the best Iron Man scenes, the drone fight with War Machine. Yeah, no, 100%. It's such a good fight scene. The fight scene at the end when they're in the giant what's it called? The big ball, the big orb. That's a fun one. Yeah, and Don Cheadle. Simple as that. Done. Don Cheadle. End of sentence. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Don Cheadle being added into the MCU and then knowing what he's gone on to do in the MCU, I've liked him the entire time. Again, Don Cheadle as War Machine, we don't really get to see a lot of him. So even though it wasn't really him, I still liked seeing Don Cheadle in Secret Invasion just because I wanted more of Don Cheadle. So again, more praise that I'm giving to Secret Invasion because I think it deserves it. We're not going to move it, but I think it deserves it. I'm going to just do this. I'm just going to do that. And I'll put this somewhere around here. I don't know. Shang-Chi next. Okay. All right. We can do Shang-Chi next. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Shang-Chi. Where do we put Shang-Chi? I think putting it here is going to break my visual. But that's okay. I can fix it. I think Shang-Chi should go. It's a very good and fun time, based on my previous rules for what I've put here. I think I'm gonna put it in a very good and fun time. I wish I could like Aquafina more than I do. No, that's fair. I think she rubs some people the wrong way. And again, you can't really do anything about that. I personally don't find her that irritating. I think she's fine. I liked her in this movie. I haven't really seen or heard her in anything else. So maybe that's why it didn't really bug me that much. I'm tempted to put it... I think I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it down to it was fine. I don't want to be mean to Shang-Chi because I think Shang-Chi is very good, but it's another one of those circumstances where it is very good, but I think it could have been even more, and I'm more so looking forward to the future of Shang-Chi than I am just what we got. Bye, Schizo. Enjoy Lethal Company. We'll be heading over your way very, very soon. We'll see you. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon. Rogue says my ratings are awful. Well, Rogue's bad, so that means what he says is flipped, and that means his favorite movie is Love and Thunder. Even though you're wrong, I wish you well on the rest of your list. Rogue is bad, unfortunately. I'm sorry to have to tell you. I'm assuming these are all the guys that are playing Lethal Company with Schizo, so we'll all go say hi to them soon. We're almost done here. We're almost done here. Love and Thunder was 100% better than She-Hulk? Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I laughed at She-Hulk. She-Hulk made me laugh. Oh no, the music feed. Oh no. We spent so much time fixing it at the beginning and now it's broken again. There we go. Rogue's going to the cornfield with Iron Man 3. Yeah, there you go. You can go hang out in the cornfield with Iron Man 3 with Ben Kingsley. Oh, speaking of Shang-Chi, yeah, Ben Kingsley comes back. We get Trevor making his return. And I thought for sure they were going to kill him off, but they didn't, which means we get even more. We get even more Ben Kingsley, which I'm very excited about. He's still hanging around. I'm all for that. You have fun too, Rogue. Enjoy Lethal Company. We won't be much longer. Yeah, Shang-Chi was good stuff. But again, I liked it, but I want to see more. They've established that, yeah, they're willing to do some pretty cool martial arts fights. Okay, cool. We understand. You can do it. We believe in you. Now fucking go for it. Do it. Do it. Give me some of the best fucking martial arts that I've ever seen. pull out. No stops. That's what I want from Shang-Chi 2. I want just unbelievable choreography. Get Jackie Chan to produce if you have to. Get him in there. I want Jackie Chan style Shanghai Nights fighting scenes where he's whipping people with coat racks and the coats that are still on the racks and his shoelaces or whatever. Give me that. Give me that. That's what we want. Plus, I would love to see some hidden references to like old famous martial arts movies. I would love to see that. That's where they have the opportunity to do it. That's what I want to see from Shang-Chi 2. So I really liked it, but I want to see more. I want to see more. Go all crouching tiger, hidden dragon on Shang-Chi 2. I want to see just fucking incredible stuff, and I think they can do it. Okay, let's do two at once because I think it's gonna be worth talking about them both. Because I'm gonna put them in the same place. I'm gonna put Black Panther, and I'm gonna put Black Panther Wakanda Forever in. It was fine, but I'm gonna put Wakanda Forever a little bit higher than the other way around. I'm gonna put Black Panther a little bit higher than Wakanda Forever. I think Black Panther was fine. I think it was a great introduction to the character. We kind of met him in Civil War, but then we get to see more of his character growth, his character build. Again, like I said, it takes a lot to be a memorable villain in a Marvel movie, and I think Killmonger absolutely does do it. She-Hulk is trash tier, that is all, says the veto. Okay, well, that means, oh my god, She-Hulk's too. Sorry, I'm not seeing any vetoes pop up. It must be broken. That's weird. I can't. That's so strange. It's almost like the vetoes, they're not working. Oh, Advil's come in here as well. Guys, did the people that She-Hulk was making fun of tune in here to talk about She-Hulk? Is this the audience that they were talking about in She-Hulk? Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good. They've all showed up here. It's Blonsky. It's the Abomination. This seems like some sort of bot attack. Everyone is saying the same thing. We need that copy paste from Amber from the Discord. She-Hulk is S tier. Awesome. Okay, She-Hulk is staying where it is. Excellent. We had 3 vetoes, which brings it down 3 pegs, but then we had another veto that brings it right back up to where it was. So they all kind of cancel each other out. Don't ban any mods, please. Don't. Even as a joke, that's just a struggle. That's just a struggle. Have you not started Lethal Company yet? The audience they were talking about in She-Hulk was over 50% of mankind. You're not wrong. Well, not really. Not really. They're not talking about 50%. You can veto again. Schizo's being slow. Is he still eating? That must be some good Mexican food. I'm jealous. I'd like some Mexican food. All right, let's quickly move on down the road. Not much really to say about the Black Panther movies. I think, again, solid. We all know Chadwick Boseman, great job in the role. It was really unfortunate what happened. I mean, devastating news. I think Wakanda Forever handled it well. I think they approached it well. I think the MCU handled it well. Marvel handled it well. And I liked Wakanda Forever. I think having Riri Williams in there was unnecessary. It felt like she was kind of stapled on at the end for no real reason. I don't hate that she's there. I'm excited. Again, I'm excited to see her in Armor Wars. I want to see her story, and I hope they change the way the suit looks, because I don't like it. But that's okay, because it was just a one-time thing, and it'll be changed. It'll get updated. It'll be fine. Oh, Schizo's doing random facts right now. Oh, I see. Oh, yes. Okay, so he started a stream. All right, well, we'll be able to raid soon. I'd argue Black Panther up to a very good and fun time, personally. There's just nothing that jumps out specifically to me about it. Like, I like it. I like watching it, but like there's nothing. I don't turn on the movie specifically for any reason, like for any specific moment or like I like all the actors, I like all the characters. It just does what it has to. It's the same as I Am Groot. Like it does what it has to, but it doesn't do anything special. And I think Wakanda Forever handles the death of Chadwick Boseman really well, and it develops the future, but it's a very, very sad, depressing movie. And I think it had to be. Like I said about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I like it when movies have flavor. I like it when they feel a certain way. And Wakanda Forever, you can feel the sadness, you can feel the heaviness, and that's good. That's a positive toward the movie. But the villain, again, you can't judge a Marvel movie based on its villain, but they tried so hard to make him a character that's going to be sticking around, and I don't get it yet. I'm not on board with Namor just yet. So that's going to take some more convincing, I think. But again, another thing that I'm just hopeful to see more of. I'm sure we're going to get Namor a bit more Namor. And the fight scene that they have in the ocean towards the end is pretty cool. The Dora Milaje getting those new suits as well, pretty bad. Not a big fan of that. So that keeps it in the it was fine tier as well. But again, I think it was a fine movie. I'm interested in spreading that lore open a bit more. M'Baku didn't get enough to do in Wakanda Forever, and that's I'm upset about it. So that's too bad. Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you for finding the copy pasta too, Advil. Thank you. We need to store that somewhere. Claw's resolution, the dynamics with Martin Freeman, the final fight scene on the plains between the factions. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in Black Panther. I do agree. There are some good stuff. I would say, I would argue that I don't like Claw's resolution. I don't like that he's this conniving, scheming, swindling, scummy guy, and he doesn't suspect that he's about to be betrayed. Again, it's the what you want in the story, and that's what's going to happen. But I don't like that they killed Claw off so early. I love Andy Serkis. That's where another bias comes in. I want Andy Serkis in the MCU always, and they took him out, and I felt like it was too early. I want him in there again. Put him back in. And he was just so fucking good as this scumbag villain. Like I liked Claw. He was one of my favorite villains. As horrible as he is. Sassy, I hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas. You frickin' did it.
We got a number one victory.
Number one victory.
Get down.
Get down. It's a tomato town.
I think Matt heard this a bit too much.
I have. I've heard it a lot.
Skip-a-da-bop, it's up a deep dop. There we are. Now everything's right in the world. Sassy, I hope you had a very good time for Christmas. How was it? Was it good? I know it's a quick hello, but a quick how was your Christmas? Right back at you. And yeah, no, that's fair. I think it's okay to be upset when a character is killed because I mean, yeah, you don't want people to die. you don't want characters to die. But I think some characters have a time to die. I think like Coulson, I think that was fine. And I don't know, Maria Hill, Secret Invasion, it was fine. It's fine for me. This is getting out of hand. I keep checking my phone to see the same thing posted by yet another person. Oh no! You found the second one. There you go. Look, you got part 1 and part 2. Christmas was chill. You played games. Hope I had a good one as well. I did have a good one as well, Sassy. Thank you very much. It was very relaxed and very quiet, very peaceful, very, very relaxed Christmas this year, which was very nice, honestly. Definitely needed it. Usually Christmas is chaotic and crazy, but it was relaxed and nice this year, which is good. It was anticlimactic with Hill, yeah. I agree. I mean, it was a shocking first episode. That's for sure. And, you know, you had a week then of is she dead or is she not dead? So I don't know. I think it was, yeah, maybe a bit anticlimactic, but still. She's one of those characters that had been around for a really long time, but like I don't want to do any disservice to Colby Smulders, but I mean, the character itself was not super integral to any stories, really. So, and that's not to say that that's the last time we'll see her, so keep that in mind, too. Could have been a Skrull. Could have been a Skrull. Still could have been a Skrull. Enjoy your Lurky Poo. We're just about to wrap up here. We're gonna do a quick raid on Schizo, so stick around for that as well if you're around. She was just the glue that held Sam Jackson together. I mean, she did quite a lot for him. That's for sure. It'll be interesting to see if he gets like a new assistant or something in the future. I'll be curious to see what goes on there. Or again, it's just a Skrull that chooses to look like Maria Hill or something like that. You know, they could absolutely do that. Like, yeah, Colby Smulders, Maria Hill is dead, but Colby Smulders playing Nefara from the Skrull planet or whatever. That could still be a thing. I'm going to keep this form because I like it. It's like, all right, yeah. She sticks around. Okay. The Winter Soldier. Captain America. The Winter Soldier. When I first saw The Winter Soldier, I thought to myself, yeah, that was fun. That was pretty cool. Then I rewatched it. And then I rewatched it again. And then I rewatched it again. And then I watched it again. And I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was fine the first time. But the more I watched it, the more I understood what was going on. The more I could appreciate what was going on. And I think it's pretty super cool and groovy. It's just fun to watch from start to finish. The characters are twisted and you can't trust. I mean, it's everything that I will defend Secret Invasion for not being. Captain America the Winter Soldier is that. People are mad that Secret Invasion wasn't Captain America the Winter Soldier 2. And I understand. That makes sense. Yeah, I want another Captain America the Winter Soldier. I'm not angry at Secret Invasion because that wasn't it. I'm happy that we got the Winter Soldier because, yeah, no, it's fucking great. It does weigh down a little bit because they're like, you know, there are no more super soldiers. Oops, we found one. Oops, there is another one. But mathematical? Son? Hi, son, how you doing?
A
Hello.
legend has just subscribed.
An absolute legend has just subscribed. You're right. For 9 months as well. That's almost a year. How was your Christmas, son? How was everything? How was your birthday? How was Christmas? Thank you for the sub. Jito says hi. Well, I say hi to Jito as well. Hello. And Merry Christmas. Merry belated Christmas. Maybe it is Talos. Perhaps it is. But yeah. Secret Invasion, solid soundtrack, solid acting, solid cast, solid twists, solid turns. You got the elevator scene. I mean, again, when I'm talking about Black Panther, saying that there's no scene that jumps out, Captain America, I mean, he holds on to the helicopter as it's going away, and everybody gets to ooh and ah at Chris Evans's muscles. That's what we want to see, right? It's good. Not even the knife fight. Yeah, even better. The fight in the street, the whole fight in the street, from the highway to the end of the street, the fight scene in the street. Spent Christmas Eve with Tomcat. It was okay and cool. And we watched the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Oh, very nice, very cool. Well, that sounds like a great Christmas. It was the best ever. That's amazing. Good, I'm glad. Everyone should have a good Christmas. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, Winter Soldier goes up there. I think Thor, the original Thor, is fine. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It was a fair intro to a fair character. We're not going to do that to it, though. We'll have to do that a little bit. Do a little bit rearranging. I do like Thor. It's a fun movie. Again, this is where the casting starts, right? You've got Anthony Hopkins. You've got Chris Hemsworth. You've got Tom Hiddleston. You've got Natalie fucking Portman. You've got Selvig. You've got Skarsgård. One of them. There's so many. Mr. Skarsgård. Can't go wrong. Yes, the God tier soundtrack. It had such a good, like, Thor theme song. It had such a good soundtrack as well. Very fantastical. Introducing Asgard. Explaining all of Asgard. Keeping it grounded. Having Thor go through such a good character arc while still leaving it open for more character development. Loki being introduced. Loki. It's good. I think it's great. It's certainly one of the better character introduction stories. Like I said about Doctor Strange, I think Doctor Strange was good but bland. Thor, I think you could argue Thor and Doctor Strange are both a little bland while both still achieving what they needed to achieve, introducing a character successfully and in a decently enjoyable way. I think we're gonna take the next two and do these at the same time. Also introducing Hawkeye, yeah. I forgot about that. Hawkeye is introduced in Thor, which is great. There's actually a very subtle reference to it in, I think, the Avengers, where they kind of mention that they know each other. Unfortunately, I have to lurk in the background to be a cool mom. Oh my goodness. Well, you're very good at that. Lurk, love y'all. Be very good. Have a good evening. Thank you for the lurk. Doctor Strange was very, very sad. Yeah, it was pretty crushing. It was pretty heartbreaking. But, I mean, happy ending. It was fine. Tilda Swinton's okay. She was in the Avengers. That one Avengers. Let's do these next two at the same time. Because I think they're very similar. Not similar placing, but similar. I think... Oh. Where am I going to put these? I think I'm going to put Far From Home in It Was Fine, and I'm going to put Homecoming in A Very Good and Fun Time. Because I think Spider-Man Homecoming, introducing us to the MCU's version of Spider-Man, finally, in his first full-length movie. I think it was great. People complained that he wasn't by himself. He had so much help from Tony Stark and all this kind of stuff. Knowing what we know now, I think that's totally fine. I think it was totally fine. We're getting the Peter Parker origin story now. We didn't get it then, but we're getting it now. In just a different way. In a different way. Oh, yeah. Spider-Man Far From Home and Shang-Chi, both very similar. Look at that. Also, the Captain Marvel thing is connected down into Spider-Man. Look at that. Wow. Shapes, everybody. What's going on? I didn't plan this out, I promise. That's so funny. Two guys right next to you. I mean, he's kind of doing the same thing up here, but just not in the same size. Oh, wow. Yeah, anyway, I think Homecoming is saved by the villain. In a lot of the circumstances here, the villain is very forgettable, but I think Spider-Man is the Batman of the MCU universe for me. I like Spider-Man's villains as much as I like Spider-Man, and I think seeing the Vulture done this way was great. Michael fucking Keaton, everybody. That's Beetlejuice, goddammit. He did such a good job. I would... If someone said, no, Homecoming deserves to be and It Was Fine, I would say, no. When he realizes Peter is Spider-Man, the light goes from red to green. And it's one of the best fucking shots in cinematic history. And I will write a paper on it someday because it's brilliant. It's so good. That whole car scene, yeah, you're right. The whole scene is brilliant. The twist itself is brilliant. When he shows up at the door and then boom, there it is. Boom, hi, I'm a Twist. Nice to fucking meet you. I'm here. It's a great Spider-Man movie. I love it. What is it? If you really meant what you'd said, if you really meant what you were saying, then you'd actually be here. And then Tony fucking Stark steps out of the suit. He wasn't there the first time, but he's here this time because it's serious, Peter. What you just did was serious. It's good. It's very good. I just talked myself into moving that up even more. I'm going to keep moving it up a little more. Anyway, I think Homecoming was great. I don't hate anything about Far From Home. I think Far From Home is probably on the lines of I Am Groot, where it does everything it needs to, but it does have a little bit more. It's got a bit more spice. Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio is great. People still don't know if he's actually dead or not, which I'm on board for. I think that's a fan theory that they might end up just using in the future. To be like, hey, oh, it's Mysterio. He wasn't alive. He was dead. He wasn't dead the whole time. Like, I think that could be a fun thing that pops up in the future, and I'm all for that. But like, it was a small town, not a small town. They go to London, but it was like, you know, it's a second movie in a long series of movies. The scene where he's in the back of the plane at the very end, where Happy turns on AC/DC as he's like designing his new spider suit, that was brilliant as well, because I think that was just an imperfect way to encapsulate that Tony Stark meant so much to Spider-Man, and it's like it's like a passing of the torch almost when he's not there, and it's great. It's just really, really good. I really like that scene. There's a lot of stuff to like in Far From Home. The black spider suit, the high school kids and stuff, the villain, the holographic elemental creatures or whatever. They're all fun. Bringing back the guy who Obadiah Stane yelled at in the first Tomcat in the first Iron Man movie. It just had a lot of good stuff. So it was great, but it wasn't mind blowing. Not in a rush to see it again. Zendaya figuring out that he's Spider-Man, Aunt May figuring out that he's Spider-Man. That's all fun stuff too. It's good. I'm here for it. Tom Holland is also a very good Spider-Man. I agree. I think he's probably my favorite as well. Big fan. One of my least favorite things about MCU Spider-Man is that he has comic book style banter down pat, and they almost never use it. Yeah. I mean, that's something we might see now that he's alone in the next Spider-Man movie. We might get to see a little bit more banter. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let him talk. Let him cook, everybody. And I didn't do this on purpose. I guess I must have done it subconsciously on purpose, but I didn't mean to. But we've got Infinity War and Endgame as our final two movies to rank in the MCU. We've got some stuff here that's before, and we've got some stuff here that's after. We've only got one movie that's really shitty. And again, I should also specify, I've only seen Love and Thunder once. I could probably use a rewatch. It might honestly get pushed up a little bit if I see it again. This whole thing could change. A lot of Phase 4 I haven't seen a lot of, or 5, sorry. Like I've only watched a lot. The Infinity Saga, I've seen everything 3 or 4 or 5 times. Everything after Endgame, I've only seen once or twice, I would argue. So again, there's a bit of bias going on here. Let's see. No, that's a good point. Yeah, the bank robbers at the beginning of Homecoming is good. Yeah, there's a bit of banter there. Oh my god, it's the Avengers. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I think he does get some good banter in. Some decent banter. But yeah. So, Infinity War and Endgame. Funny enough, I watched these yesterday. Myself and my mom got together, and we usually go out to watch a movie, but there was nothing in the theaters that we wanted to see this year. So she said, let's watch The Avengers. And listen, let's not beat around the bush around this one. It's the final two. I'd like to make it climactic and kind of build up some hype, but they're both super cool and groovy, guys. They're both fantastic. I like Infinity War more than Endgame. I like watching. I watch Infinity War because I like the story and I like A to B. I watch Endgame because I want to see the fight at the end. Does that make sense? I like watching Infinity War because I like the build up to the cliffhanger. I like everything from point A to point B. The shock and awe that I felt in the theaters when watching Infinity War will never be matched. Will never be matched. Never. I was literally speechless when it happened. I couldn't believe it. Endgame, we kind of knew what was going to happen. We knew it was going to be a happy ending. We had that going into it. So, like, the first bit of the movie, while it does still raise questions, it's quite entertaining. Once you kind of know what they're doing, it kind of loses all that mystery. Then it's just a waiting game to, all right, let's just get to the big fight at the end. So I think Infinity War is more enjoyable as a movie. Endgame is a spectacle. Both deserve to be in the top tier, but just slightly down the line from each other. I watch Endgame because I want to hear Steve say, Avengers, assemble, and shiver. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Infinity War for the story, Endgame for the moments. Lifting the hammer, like, it's so fucking brilliant. Wanda, you took everything from me. I don't even know who you are. You will? Oh my god. Oh my god. Good shit. Good shit. He headbutts Captain Marvel, and she doesn't flinch, and I love that moment so much. I love it. The women of the MCU protecting Peter, I don't want to say it got hate, but people had an issue with it. I don't love that it was just kind of plastered in there, but I love that they did it. I don't care that it's plastered in there. I wish they had written it in a little bit more clever, like a little bit cheekier, like a little bit of not so on the nose, like, look, all the women are here. But I like if they had made it a little bit more circumstantial, I think I would have been more accepting of it. But I don't give a shit. It's a fine moment either way. She's got some help, and then they're all there. I don't care. That's great. I love to see it. I love to see it. I guess girls can get it done energy. It does give that energy, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's fine. It's totally cool. It's totally cool with me. So there you go. What do you think? I know there's some hate on Iron Man 3. But I think we did all right. All the same. Yeah, there was no super arguments that I could tell. Just trying to get a final image here. There you go. Look. I think we did all right. I could probably reorganize this top menu here. Yeah, those yahoos from the Americas hating on She-Hulk. I don't understand the hatred on She-Hulk. I don't get it. I will not let it in these doors. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I don't think there's a lot of really, really, really bad stuff in the MCU. I think there's some stuff that, yeah, is probably a little bit a bit of a letdown, a little bit disappointing. Maybe not exactly what you were hoping for. But, like, if this is the bad and this is the good, how are people out there saying, like, if this down here is the bad and this is the good, how do you say that the MCU is in danger? Like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. And at the end of the day, they're just silly, goofy movies. Who really cares? If Disney flops and the MCU is over, who cares? Who cares? We'll move on to the next thing. Thank you so much for tuning in for that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I didn't expect that to go 3 hours, but there you go. Look, it went 3 hours. I did not plan that. Thank you for tuning in. 2 streams left, everybody. We've only got 2 streams left in 2023. I was hoping to get a video out tomorrow. It's not going to happen. I need a lot more time to do some editing. We're not going to be live tomorrow. I will hopefully be doing exactly that. Going to do some editing tomorrow to get that started and finished. But then on Friday... Yeah, no, you're not wrong. A lot of the current stuff has been some of the more disappointing stuff. That's fair, yeah. And that makes sense. But again, every big franchise like this has its ups and downs. We'll be back in the ups soon enough. And we'll be right back into Thor Ragnarok and stuff like that. I'm hopeful. Deadpool 3, man. That's what we've got next. We live in a world where the next movie coming out to get excited about in the MCU is Deadpool 3. Deadpool in the MCU. In a movie where he's probably killing off a bunch of the old characters. Can't fucking wait. This Friday, everybody, is our final TTT session of the year and our final TTT session of season 7, season 6, whatever season we're in right now. And it's our holiday special. So we're going to be checking out some holiday Christmas maps and stuff like that this Friday. Season 6. Okay. Dropping a bombshell of a news drop. News drop. Wii U. Past Party's breaking up again. No. I will not be streaming TTT in the new year. I'm not doing it. I will be taking part in TTT still. I'll still be playing. I'm going to still record TTT, and I'm going to use it for TikTok and stuff like that. But I'm not going to be streaming it on Fridays anymore. Just because. So this will be my last TTT stream. Well, I'm gonna stream some of them. The Pirate Week one, I'll probably stream, and I'll probably stream the next year's holiday special, and probably one of the Halloween ones or whatever. There'll be a few TTT streams, but I'm not going to be streaming the regular series. Yeah, exactly. It's tough to focus on the funny and the interaction. Trying to keep chat entertained while I'm trying to entertain myself is difficult. Especially when you're trying to be sneaky and you don't want to talk and you don't want to say too much to whoever. And anyway, yeah, I'm not going to be streaming it next year, just for some of the events and whatnot. So yeah, tune in on Friday for the final one of those. And then on Saturday, we've got our Streams of the Year tier list, where we're going to be looking back on 2023, all of the different games that we streamed. I think there's record-breaking, 56 things that we need to rank this year. We're going to go back and we're going to look on, did we like the game? Did we think the stream series was fun? Did people tune in? Did I enjoy it? Did you guys enjoy it? A lot of those factors. We're going to look at all of that on Saturday and just look back at 2023. Literally, we're going to look back because I've got a 4.5 minute long recap video of all the Twitch clips compiled, ready to go. That's going to premiere on Twitch on Saturday, so you're not going to want to miss that. You're probably in it in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to have some trailers for some series that are going to be starting off in January. We've got the game that I'm going to be playing first, starting off in January at the beginning of the year, but we've also got a big, oh my god, what is it? It's the next Ass and Sass series kicking off in January as well. We've got a fun one. Looking forward to it. So we're going to have some trailers for that kind of stuff. And we're going to talk about some of my plans for 2024 as well. So lots to look forward to on Saturday. And then I'm going to be going on a break. I'm going to be breaking for the first week of January. I'm not going to be back until afterwards. I think the first stream back is going to be on the 8th of January. So a full week without me, but I'm sure we'll all be all right. Big plans to work on. Big plans to work on in the new year, and I'm hoping I can stick to some of them. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. I hope we enjoyed talking about some movies and stuff. It was fun. We're going to raid Schizo. Playing some Lethal Company. We'll go say hi and watch them all get eaten by alien bugs and giants and bears and dogs and all that kind of fun stuff. I bet Advil falls in a pit at least once. Probably. Okay. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys on Friday for some TTT. Good evening. See you next time. Bye-bye.